Hello, welcome back to Actual
It's
Play
us.
UK. It's us. We're here. We've come back. We said we would at this time, and we did it. So we have, like delivered on a promise. That's just, that's the kind of treatment you can expect here at Actual Play UK.
And that's why you should vote for us.
Yes, please vote for us in
everything.
Upcoming elections.
Write us in.
my
Spoil your
name
ballot
is
paper. Ruin everything.
Thanks,
Just ruin
Beth.
politics.
Burn it all down.
Yeah,
if
burn
this
it
game
down.
teaches us anything, burn it all down. Hello, my name is Pip Gladwin. I will be running tonight's session of Mörk Borg, whatever you want to call it. The creators said it was okay to pronounce the name however you want, so that's what we're going to do. Mörk Borg is one of my favorite games in the whole world. And it comes to us via a number of places, namely Free League, Stockholm Cartel, Occult or Mystari Games, with graphic design from Johan Nohr and text and game design from Pelle Nielsen. And I would like to apologize for butchering those Swedish names. But I'll tell you who I won't apologize for butchering, and that's our players tonight. So let's meet them now, starting with Beth Crane.
Hello, it's me, Beth Crane. I'm from the show We Fix Space Junk. I write, I act, I can't dance, except sometimes. Thanks.
Thanks, Beth. Yeah. And Naomi.
Hi, I'm Naomi Thinksit, the sad girl under your bed, and you can find me on Realms Pod, or my show at the Kilda.
Woo! And Adam.
Hey, I'm Adam, the DM of Gunpowder, Treason, No Plot, a homebrew cosmic horror-themed D&D podcast where we plunge into the depths of insanity, and I mostly just use it as an excuse to torture my players on a fortnightly basis. So it's fun.
He's good.
Oh, how the turntables.
This is my punishment and my atonement.
And finally, last but not least, Nick.
Yeah, I'm Nick from the Trolls of the Two-Ton Bridges. We're all over the interweb under TOTB. No, Trolls of TOTTB. That's the one. TOTTB. We're currently playing Tomb of Annihilation. We've got a Delta Green stream starting very, very soon, and we will try pretty much anything. So come and see what we're all about.
Awesome. I forgot to say up top, I can also be found on Realms of Peril and Glory. That's the podcast that I'm from, and also here. Another little thing, we hit 100 subscribers today, which is a lovely little milestone. We're new, and we're very happy, and thank you, everybody, for being here with us and for putting your faith in us and your fate in our hands. I don't really know what that means. So, just before we start off, I'm going to ask, as we always do here on Actual Play UK, I'm going to ask a little icebreaker question. We're going to shatter that ice. And I would like to know from all of you, if you could have 7 of anything, what would it be? And let's go in reverse order and begin with Nick.
I would like 7 more goes at my intro.
Nice.
Apart from that, I would like 7 more games of Mörk Borg.
Oh, you.
You
Cool.
won't survive 7 games,
Nick's
I'm so
character
sorry.
gets advantage for the whole game.
Prince Otto gets advantage on everything.
Yeah. It's called privilege.
Yeah, it's called white privilege. It's fine.
You should
It's fine. So,
Adam.
I would have, I'd have 7 versions of myself just so I can delegate all the boring parts of my life, and they can just do that, and I'll relax
And they
chill
definitely wouldn't kill you. to
Yeah,
do that.
definitely not.
They definitely
No.
wouldn't rebel. No.
Yeah.
And
No,
all
this
thing-
can't go
all
wrong at
things
all.
of the original.
Crime.
Yeah.
It's what we've learned from all fiction ever.
Yeah.
No
No clones, no AIs, no. Yeah.
Everyone's just immediately like, yeah, great way to get yourself killed by yourself, Adam.
Look, the one that survives will clearly be the strongest and the most worthy to go forward.
There we
And
go.
we'll make the same mistake again.
The most unnatural of natural selections. Naomi.
So I want to say like 7 superpowers. That seems like a lot of fun.
List all of them.
Teleportation, 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 teleportation. and then 3 misc for fun.
Okay.
And
Is that 4 different ways of teleporting?
yeah, I want
Okay.
portals,
Sideways.
and
Yeah.
I want like the one where you go into smoke,
Mm-hmm.
and
Banff.
yeah, like I feel like that's really
You
good.
want a little Star Trek, like woo, like a
Yeah.
shiny one. That was the Star Trek sound. I made the very distinctive Star Trek sound.
Yeah, you did
Absolutely.
great. I was convinced.
Gonna get copyright strikes now.
And one where I just turn into like a goo and slip through the floor, like
oh, nice. I like that
like
one.
in the
Yeah.
X-Men one.
Yeah.
And I think that's my first choice, but my second choice is 7 dogs because I love dogs.
Dogs are pretty great.
That sounds like, as someone who's recently has a dog, that sounds awful. Round us out, Beth. Come on.
Okay, I would like 7 more hours in the day because I'm really tired and I could do with 7 more hours of sleep daily.
Yeah.
I think you win.
Yeah.
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 I would like
It's
to
not
also live the
teleportation though,
normal
is
amount
it?
of time.
Yeah.
No, it's not, but yeah.
I
I
would
just
like,
get lost. Yeah.
I would like 7 extra weekend days is what I'll take.
Yeah.
I'll take
So
a 7.
weekend of
that's
9
it. Actually,
days.
sorry. What I meant to say, it was really awkwardly phrased, and there was a better way to do it. I'd like a 7-day weekend. That's what
Nice.
that's what I'm going to wish for. You know, if we're going to have to do a 7-day week of work, or a
Should be
5-day week of work,
50-50.
rather, like
Yeah.
fine, but give me my 7 weekend days afterwards.
Week on, week off. That'll
Yeah.
do.
Pretty much. Exactly. That's what I'll take. It's boring, but it's true. So we're gonna jump in just a second, but I will briefly, ever so briefly, recap what happened last time we played. Our little band of absolutely reprehensible scumbags, Bloodless Kiev, the Gutterborn
carrot.
Scum, Gelsbrigg, the Dead God's Prophet, Haga, the Fanged Deserter, and Prince Otto, wretched royalty, found themselves in the city of Galgenbeck, under siege from some very strange winged creatures. They were quickly not press ganged, but employed, shall we say, by a noble, Lord Irvang, into fetching a strange box that had been spirited out of the city somehow, and bringing it back to him. He believed that it would somehow cure his catatonic son of this strange state that he had been in, ranting and raving, mostly about the number 7 and then about this box that was leaving the city. They were furnished with a cart and a pair of arthritic horses, and they set off to catch up with this escaping cart, and various misadventures ensued. And finally, our crew came upon the cart they were looking for, threw caution and subtlety to the wind, and just like ram raided those guys. And a short but brutal fight took place, by the end of which our party were a little injured but victorious. But as these robed cultists who'd been leading this cart, 7 of them, strangely, as the 7th of them fell, the 7th seal of the casket that they had been tracking down broke. And as mist and fog poured from within, something began to claw its way out, something strange, something possibly undead, and our 4 inverted commas heroes blacked out. And that is where we are gonna rejoin them. How's everyone feeling? Shall we get going?
I'm feeling unconscious. Let's go.
Let's go. I've got
It's
this is
all
a
gone
cup
dark.
of Lemsip, and I've got this, which is a very cheap bottle of red wine. So let's fucking do this.
The vibes are immaculate.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hell of an evening.
Mhm. So, nothingness swims before all of your eyes. You have a vague sense of yourself, but not of any space around you. Momentarily, you are reduced to pure ego, quite a lot of it in Prince Otto's case.
Size of a house.
And as that sense of bodilessness and a complete lack of any sensation begins to starts feeling comfortable almost. It's quite frightening at first, and then it starts to feel normal. You are wrenched from this darkness, and you find yourselves gasping, soaking wet, and lying on cold flagstones in some kind of stinking tunnel.
This
Subterranean
is just like an average Tuesday, really,
water
isn't it?
is dripping from the stones around you. Carven stones, I should say. This looks like a man-made structure, old, tumbled down like everything in this world is. And it is very, very dark. You find yourselves there, and you have just about enough sort of vision to make out the shapes, the other groaning shapes of your fellows as you all kind of come to your senses.
I'm guessing we've got none of our stuff. Maybe the clothes that were on our backs, and that's.
You have all of your stuff. You have not
nice.
been disarmed.
Do I have Barbarista?
You do you call out for him at all?
I think he probably sits up groggily, holding his head, and goes, "Oh, I don't like this at all. I don't remember anything about last night. And who are you? Oh, it's you people. Barbarista? Barbarista, where are you?"
There's a short pause, and then you hear a sort of doleful clopping on these flagstones, and the large shape of your wondrous horse hoves into view. Yes, I'm here. Wherever here is. He looks around.
Oh, do you not know either, Barbarista?
No, I just woke up on the floor over there.
Well, I think this has
Oh,
gone
well, that's
swimmingly. If I check the walls, is this like a sewer? Is that the vibe, or is it like...
It certainly smells like one.
Yeah, or is it like a religious ritual sewer?
You're not seeing any... You're not seeing any telltale signs. Those real telltale signs of a religious ritual sewer.
Yeah,
that
you
you
said
would-
carvings.
Entrails, generally.
No, just carved stone that has been,
Like
worked
flagstone
into
type
it. Yeah,
things.
worked into a tunnel. It certainly smells like a sewer, and you can hear moving water. But beyond that, there's little to identify this place.
I'm just lying still. I don't.
Waiting.
Well, I'm wearing very heavy armor, and I'm quite tired.
I go over to Haga and immediately begin CPR.
Get off! Get off!
No, wait! Breath!
Off.
Oh no! If you try any level of mouth to mouth on Haga, even if Haga doesn't move,
Yeah,
you
you'll get, like,
will
tetanus.
tear up your own face. Haga's teeth are not to be trifled
Worth
with.
it. Yeah. I think I get slapped sideways into the side of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Gelsbrig's been really quiet this whole time, and I'll tell you for why. Gelsbrig, since waking, there is no voice in your head.
Gelsbrig is freaking out. Quietly, just sat rocking back and forward. Very worried. He was quite happy because he smote some heretics. Saw a bunch of heretics die. He even managed to impale some of his, party members who he may suspect also are heretics. But now Varka's gone.
The
He's very sad.
voice of Varka that sort of claws around the inside of your skull in that lovely familiar way, is not chittering and shrieking at you at this moment in time. You are you have peace.
He does not like peace. He takes his bleeding hands and actually starts licking them because he thinks he's leaked out too much of Varka. It needs to be back inside me. This isn't right.
We lay in the dark and hear the slurping coming from Glenn's
Oh,
mouth.
Nice. Yeah, these sounds persist for a moment or two until you all hear a scraping sound as of stone on stone, and then a very, very loud thud as something large and stony hits the ground and kind of shatters a little bit.
Is it Indiana Jones' big rolling stone that's going to crush us in this tunnel?
Doesn't sound like it. It sounded like a.
Damn it.
It sounded like a. I'm sorry, Naomi. Do you want to?
I go over there.
It's a big rock. You all die. You start moving towards it, Bloodless Keith, and you begin to hear another sound now as you get closer, which is the sound of bone scraping on stone. And as you kind of peer into the darkness, you start to see something coming out of it.
Oh, is this like an egg skeleton situation?
You see a hand reach out of the dark and press itself against the wall, and the hand is like up near the ceiling. And then another reaches out. You see the arms are large, humanoid. All the bones look human, but there's decaying flesh hanging from them, and you see the fingers grip into the stone and scrape down it as the other arm emerges, and then you see a leg, like a knee and foot, reach out as well, like bent, because this thing is barely fitting into the tunnel, and an enormous decaying skeleton begins to sort of haul itself out of the pitchiest dark part of this tunnel. Gelsrig, you start hearing a heartbeat in your head.
Arga pulls herself to her feet, having heard Keith shout. Although whether she's going to go help, not sure.
This thing looms over the small and cuboid form of Bloodless Keith. There's nothing in its. The eye sockets are empty. There's no expression on this thing's face because it's a skeleton. But there's also
Smiling.
but there's nothing there. There's no light in the eyes. There's nothing to it. There's not
Joie
even
de
any.
vivre.
Yeah, there's no joie de vivre to this. This skeleton has no style. Yeah, and it's just simply looming out of the darkness over Bloodless Keith.
Can I do a hey buddy?
Yeah.
And I'd like to put out a handful of lard as if I'm going to feed it like a panicked horse.
You sort of reach it out. You're sort of reaching up towards the mouth of the skeleton, which is sort of like at least 3 to 4 feet above you. You sort of reach up, and then just below it, you see the skeleton shifts. Like the skull pays absolutely no attention to you whatsoever. And then as the hands claw a little further, you see the rib cage and the torso of this thing appear. And within the rib cage is another shape. It's small and red and dripping with what looks like blood. It's sort of a child-sized humanoid. It's very small and kind of curled up on itself. You can see one of its hands is just sort of gently gripping one of the ribs from the inside. And it lifts this little face up and peers at you with 2 little red eyes.
And I say, hey buddy, you okay in there? It's dark. You had a fall.
Free.
Yeah, I also gotta find a way out of here. And I'm like, come with us, you'll be okay. And I start like tromping.
It scrapes its way a little further towards you, the rest of you, as Bloodless Keith moves away from it. Gelsbrig, that heartbeat is still. The closer this thing gets to you, the louder it is in your head.
I see. Does anybody else hear a strange beating sound, or just me? I'm kind of used to hearing things that only I hear, but nice to check in.
It's kind of scraping its way towards you.
No, I only hear like a mamba kind of. Just when you get a song stuck in, it's like.
Right. Yes, definitely not what I'm hearing.
I can just hear myself breathing all the time.
You see, like Barbarista sort of very slowly just kind of gets out of this thing's way. Just
Gilsbrig's also going to start backing off.
Yeah,
Clearly this thing is a horrible heretic, and its proximity to me is interrupting my communication with Varka, and I don't like it.
It continues. It's beginning to get more purposeful in its movement towards you specifically, Gelsbrig.
I would like to ask it its name and then look at Gelsbrig like.
It sort of pauses, and you can see that this little creature within the ribcage of this giant skeleton stop. It's been staring at Gelsbrig, and it kind of stops and cocks its head, and I cannot remember. And then the eyes snap back to Gelsbrig. But he knows. And it moves. It's coming for you, buddy.
I'm going to start backing away and go, so, are you a new convert? Always looking to expand the church?
You see
or more for the prayer circle?
The little hand releases from its grip on the ribcage, and, it can't reach very far, but starts to reach out and, towards you. This little, almost like a baby's hand, kind of just reaching from inside this thing, dripping with blood. And
I pass it a pamphlet.
It's okay.
And then run.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to make me an agility check right now.
I can do that. I'm quite spry. No, I'm not. I have a +0. I'm not that spry.
Okay.
That would be a 4.
You,
good start.
Shaking, reach for a pamphlet to hand this tiny baby. And it seemingly reaches out for the pamphlet, and then as you kind of make the move to let go, it's just quick as a flash, locks its tiny hand in yours.
Oh.
Does it make a toughness check?
It doesn't. What it makes is a sound like somebody drinking. They're just these sort of like a gulpy, suctiony sound coming from where your hands are meeting. And this thing, its eyes are closed as it's doing this, and then they open again, and you hear its voice. Everyone hears its voice, but you hear its voice in your head, Gelsbrig, and it whispers, "My child, you freed me." It's the same voice. You are currently clasped. Yeah, you currently have your hands clasped with vodka? Maybe?
Oh, well, then I go to my knees and shout, "Praise be! Oh, praise be, great Varka! You have come to deliver us from this strange tunnel."
Well, I don't like this at all. This is a terrible turn.
Everyone quickly, on your knees. Please pray. Pray with me.
I think I'd rather be... I think I'd rather be on my toes, to be honest with you.
Now I would like the other three of you who are not Gelsbrig to make me a toughness test, please.
Yeah.
It's a mid challenging one. I'll tell you that much.
16 for Prince Otto.
Okay. 15. Prince Otto and Haga are successful. Bloodless Keith is not. You guys watch as Bloodless Keith is visibly, but without any physical pressure put on him, forced to his knees.
Get up.
Well,
you
I'd
absolutely
love to,
can't.
but it's kind of not really a choice. Though honestly, I'm open to conversing.
Atlas Keith has been overcome by the holy order of Varka. The rest of you, please submit.
You have all been deceived.
Generally,
I
do
try
you
to tell
want
them
to
that
be
all the
more
time.
specific?
I have been a prisoner for centuries in a vault under the home of one Lord Irvang. He and his family trapped me within that casket, designed to hold me with old magic. Old magic that you have broken.
And the baby, like, turns to look at you again, Gelsbrig.
Do not fear. Those you slew were not your fellows. Simply tools, husks, to draw out true children of Varka, as all of you are.
I did
kinda
think they were pathetically weak.
Turns to look between Prince Otto and Haga.
Or you will be.
Well, to be honest, I'd rather like to remain a prince if you don't mind.
Your station is no concern of mine.
Oh, but it's a wonderful station of mine.
You may keep
As
it.
he's gradually sort of slowly backing away.
Just gently into the dark.
Yeah.
Prince, it's okay. The initial exsanguination only hurts for about 12 hours or so. After that, it's perfectly fine.
You have been used.
That's why I'm a nihilist at heart.
So is this like a revenge thing?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just so we're all on the same page.
Well, I understand revenge entirely. I mean, there's so many people I'd like to take down a peg or two. But
Did you
I'd rather do it without being exsanguinated, if you
did
don't
you
mind.
enjoy your little tour of Irvang Manor?
I'd rather it were my manor.
Yes. It can be.
Can I have a butler?
Or you can have anything you like if you want to stay and be.
I'm not asking you.
Maybe you'd like to be. Maybe you'd like to be head of the guard and have a butler of your very own.
I mean, I was asking the god.
Well,
Bring me.
there's not much difference between a prince and a god, to be honest with you.
Bring me flesh and blood, and I can shape it as you please.
Oh hell yeah!
See, look,
So-
I've been telling you all that Varka's great. Come on.
Yeah.
Join.
Okay, so
Do
like,
this, and you will be rewarded. We are now beneath the city of Galgenbeck. It has taken much of my power to bring us here. I must rest. But you will go above and
I must
see it done.
I must admit, you do look smaller than in your pictures.
My strength will return.
cool. So like, you're staying here. We're going somewhere. It's really dark in here.
You see the actual skeletal hand, the huge skeletal hand, come down towards like it reaches down towards the left leg, grips hold of one of the bones and just rips a section of it away, and brings it to the front of the rib cage, at which point the child reaches out, touches it with its blood-soaked hand, and you watch this liquid kind of flow over the top of it and then kind of ignite into a blue flame. And you are proffered this torch, Keith. And you find yourself able to stand and receive it.
Cool. Okay. Well, we've got a job to do. Time to go. Like.
Yeah, I follow Keith.
One moment before you go.
We pause like this.
Yeah, like
And then look over our shoulders like there.
This will be a test. Let us see if you pass.
And the little hand flicks, and Keith, Hager, and Prince Otto, a tiny little drop of blood smacks against each one of your foreheads.
Is it a written test? Because I can't read.
No. I feel it is a test you are suited for.
Violence.
Okay.
If you flee, I will know. And your end will not come quickly.
Don't worry, Lord Varka. I will know too, and I will set them on fire if they try to run away.
My disciple,
Cool. So, like, the vibe has definitely kind of changed a little bit.
Gelsbrig, my faithful disciple. For you, I have a small reward.
And the other hand that was pressed against the wall kind of comes down, and you see, like, set into the bones and decaying flesh of this left hand is the handle of what looks like one of the daggers that the cultists were wielding, and it is proffered to you. And you can pull it free from the hand of this sort of, let's face it, skeleton mech that this baby is in.
Skeleton.
Yeah, you can pull it free.
I happily do.
This is a bone knife. You can make a brief note of this. It will be relevant. It is a bone knife. Just does a simple D4 of damage like any other knife would do. It's a 7-toothed knife. There are 7 sort of ridges on the outside of it.
Say.
Yeah. Whenever you do damage with this knife to someone, when you cut and harm them, that person has to roll a D12, and if that comes up a 7, they are instantly exsanguinated. So this knife has the potential to kill people instantly. Enjoy a gift from Varka.
Gelsbrig is very happy. He looks at Varka and sort of nods his head, kind of daubs his own face with the black ichor blood and goes, all of Gelgenbrek will be consecrated in your holy fluids, my lord.
If it was possible for a baby to nod sagely, it does. Yes, you had your hand up, Naomi.
Yeah, I was going to ask where the blood went from the exsanguinated people, but I don't think I want to know. I think I'm okay.
I mean, it's maybe all over this baby.
Yeah. I want to go. I don't feel safe here. I feel violated and goopy.
Mostly goopy.
well, Yeah, there's only, I mean, it's either walk through the skeleton or go the other way. So,
well, I'm gonna go the other way.
yeah.
You're going to have to catch me up because I'm still sidling backwards.
He's been sidling the whole time.
Sidling doesn't get you very far, but it gets you further than running because if you run, you get noticed. If you sidle, you don't.
Kring is hissing at you from the scabbard. Stand and fight, coward! Coward! I
half put him out of the scabbard and go, oh, for once in your life, shut the fuck up. You fucking fight him. There's
a moment of sort of Kring sort of pauses.
You know, I think that might be the bravest you've ever been. Insult me again and see what happens.
And you see the light of Bloodless Keith's torch approaching and the others, and you set off down this dripping subterranean tunnel.
I'm sort of trying to move in between the drips.
Yeah. Make me an
Not-
agility check.
Not very successfully. He's not very good at it. But
let's see how successful you are.
agility. Well, he's -1, so it's not going to be terribly good. But he did a 16, so.
Nary a drip of fetid water touches your beautifully coiffed hair.
However, I'm covered in shit to my knees. So.
Yes, that is. You have been lying down in a sewer for some time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
It's-
the back of my hair is all matted and oh, rather unpleasant down here.
and you guys walk on down this corridor for a little while until you find a little side passage, a side tunnel on the left, a little archway with some steps in it. The steps are slick with, let's call it, water that has run down them, but they go up.
Cool. So, Glethbrig, feel like you kind of buried the lead on this one. What the fuck was that?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have told you daily, again and again and again, of the great glory of Varka and how you were all horrible sinners who should repent and join him. And now you have. Good for you.
Cool. Question. Did you know he was a little Matryoshka doll baby?
The holy form of Varka was surprising to me too, but he is often referred to as the child of blood, so I guess it makes sense. He would be quite small. I did like his skeleton mech. That was very cool.
Gotta get me one of those.
Oh, that's going to be my next boon, I bet.
I feel like you need to update your flyers.
Yeah, I'd like 7 of those. Thank you.
Gelsbrig very quickly starts trying to draw a skeleton mech in blood on his pamphlet.
Cool. I have a question. Like Varka, like what's his like end goal? Like what's his like final form kind of vibe?
Well, in the holy manuscripts that I was writing, that mostly came from his agonizing screams, I believe he wishes to drown the entire world in his holy blood so that we can all be one and basically end the world in a nicer way than it's currently ending.
Cool.
So what he'd like to do is kill everybody until the whole world is dead, apart from Mr. and Mrs. Barker sitting on the porch.
Well, I assume I'd probably be there too, you know, hope of the dead world and all that.
Mr. and Mrs. Varka and me, Varka Jr.
Baby Varka.
But it's either that or we all submit to the miseries of the basilisk, and they all sound very horrible, so...
Oh, I'm not going to submit to anybody. I'm a prince. I don't have to submit, and that's why I'm a nihilist at heart, you see.
Can I try and trip him up?
Yeah, absolutely. Make me a melee attack. Just a strength based melee attack.
That's a 9.
Not good enough. A very obvious attempt at tripping you up, Prince Otto. A very pedestrian attempt at tripping you up. The sort of thing a commoner would do.
I look back in absolute disdain and just flap my filthy, disgusting handkerchief in her direction. So, oh, behave.
I bare my teeth.
So I just made a little dice roll for fun. As you do that, you trip over the extended leg and hoof of a horse, and sort of tumble backwards to the ground. And look, Barbarisha's just sort of looking down at you. Sorry, didn't see you there. And continues on.
And if it was possible to high five a horse, I would.
Oh, he fully extends an upturned hoof and high fives you. Yeah.
While sniggering horsishly.
Yeah.
And he looks at you, Harger. He's just like, love the horseshoe. We should talk sometime.
Yeah.
and then continues on his way. You move up this passageway, and with a little effort, manage to wrench an old iron gate open, and find yourselves once again under a sky on the streets of Galgenbeck. It is the middle of the night. The rain it's not pouring, but it's a fine misting of rain in the air. A great sort of fog has fallen over the top of the city. Visibility is not as good as it normally would be. You're getting that kind of nice far end of a street, can't quite see what's beyond it sort of feel from it. And the torches and lamps that are set around the streets of the city are only adding to that by, creating these bright pools of light that, whilst lighting up the area around them, do not really pierce through this fog at all. You find yourselves on the streets. There are a few bodies from the this night's bird incursion, and not many people on the street who don't have to be, which, to be fair, is actually more than you would think. But there is no hustle and bustle at this time of night, especially in this area. Yes, Naomi.
This night's bird incursion is a really great name for an album.
Thank you. And coming soon, Actual Play UK's first album.
This night's bird incursion. I think it would. But
yeah. Featuring I don't know, it's some sort of techno remix of this game. Yeah. It's just every time any of us have said the word bird, just sped up really fast with like a heavy bass behind it.
So I have a query.
Yes, I love a query.
Does bird count as flesh?
Yeah.
Can I just chuck a bunch of birds down the hole we came in? Just like kick a bunch of corpses.
Yeah,
See if that does anything.
You turn around, you see Prince Otto sort of like rolling a corpse towards the door, and he stops and sort of like looks at it and just gives it a last little push and goes, "Whoops."
This dead body tumbles down into the sewer, followed swiftly by these hurled corpses of several of these 7-segmented beaked I've said either ravens or crows when in the first game.
Corvids.
Corvids, thank you. What a lovely word. They tumble down afterwards. Well, it's more sort of hurled. I feel like Hargers are like thrower.
Just clumps.
Yeah, it's like a snowball, but it's horrible.
As you sort of throw them down into the sewer.
I'm just gonna look at Gelsbrig and be like, eh?
Gelsbrig is this has been an odd experience, as I imagine. You still don't have Varka's voice is not like back permanently in your head. You still have this kind of space that you didn't have before. But you did just meet them, so I feel like that might assuage
It makes perfect sense. He was living in my head, but now he's found his mech suit again, so he's cool down there. And if Varka wants flesh, Gelsbrig's going to start wandering around, see if he can round up some civilians, because I don't think he specified they had to be dead. So if I just start leading them down the hole.
Cool. Okay, so something has definitely changed with the group dynamic.
Gelsbrig, I would love for you to make me a presence test to see if you can convince anyone to go into that sewer.
Get in the hole. All the cool kids are down there. It's an underground club.
That was a 19.
Wow.
I have no presence.
You look. You find a family.
Oh no.
Oh, Jeffrey, we've always wanted to take a vacation.
It's 2.4 children.
And
dog. No, the dog. They ate the dog.
No.
They had to. And look, with they're sort of buying the pamphlet stuff, although there is this kind of hesitance to get involved in anything that might be heretical. I think what it is that sells this to them is, one, they are exposed out here and don't have anywhere to go, and you've just like busted this iron gate. It was rickety, but the four of you who are relatively healthy-ish have managed to break this gate off and open up a route to somewhere that might be warmer. So they buy it, and you
This
send.
is warm, right?
You send for a second. You you send them on their way down into the sewer.
Please go downstairs to ultimate and final safety.
Cool. So, okay. The cuboid man is like so stressed.
Bloodless Keith is struggling with this. It's like, I'm not sure about the whole feeding a family to the mech baby.
Okay. Right. So you're all like ready for like the end of the world, and that's cool. You've made
I
your
chucked
peace.
some birds in a hole. I've not really committed.
Cool. So, we're not bringing things back to the guy who paid us to bring things. And also, last time we were there, he had a load of junk that was way powerful, and also like a fuck ton of like shadow guard guys who really like it seemed like they kind of had a plan. And then the butler was also like kind of a lot, and you wanna kill them instead of one guy, except he's a baby.
None of this has occurred to Haga because she does not really lead.
Well, I think you'll find we completely failed at that plan because he wanted the box back in one piece, and that's very much not the case. So I say we go with the god we know. Mine.
You say we, like this is a we experience. I feel like it's the god you know, and I'm gonna be honest, when we met you, you didn't seem like you knew him that well. You didn't even know he was a baby. So like, if you'd led with the mech suit, it might have been a different story. But
well, interpreting horrifying screams is difficult, I must admit.
To be honest, once a nihilist, always a nihilist. And the main thing about being a nihilist is you want to do what makes yourself happy, and what makes me happy is, well, not being dead.
cool.
You should get that
Okay.
printed on a t-shirt.
You can print things as if we could read it. What's the point?
I mean, yeah, I can't.
Make it pictograms.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to do it in sort of some form of runic pictogram, and maybe that would help. I don't know.
Cool. I feel like we're getting off track.
That is an excellent point, Bloodless Keith. We are getting off track. Now let's go round up some more flesh for God.
Bloodless Keith he's so stressed. He's so stressed. Like he was
it's a
like
stressful situation.
this is like a teeth situation, and that's fine. And now it's like the end, and obviously he's still like everyone else seems to have made their peace, but like Bloodless Keith, he's still got some stuff he's working through, you know. And how's that gonna go?
Look, man, the end of the world's coming, whether you want it to or not.
That seems like bullshit.
I'm just gonna shrug and stand vaguely near.
It's like the primary feature of this game.
You can't play long campaigns because everyone's dead. Yeah.
Cool.
I'm really enjoying this for you, Naomi.
If it helps, I'm sure Varka can give you many teeth.
Yeah, funnily enough, I don't know what I'm gonna do with them once I'm drowning in my own blood and also the blood of other people. It feels like ornamentation's gonna matter a little bit less to me than it did previously.
If I may interject just for a moment with your monologue of self-pity.
Go on!
It may take some time for Varka to exsanguinate the entire planet. So we might be dead before that happens. I'd rather be comfortable before I die instead of miserable.
Cool.
So and teeth will survive if you set fire to somebody. So if we set fire to the building, that means that Varka gets his revenge. We get away with it, and I can get a palace.
I feel like if we set fire to the house, you might be shooting yourself in the foot. Maybe we need like some help or like something. Listen, I feel like there's a planning montage here, but it's not gonna fucking matter.
I look at Barbarista and see what he's doing.
Okay, he's Barbarissa is disinterestedly sort of milling around in the background, as he kind of always does.
Barbarista, could you possibly put your mighty brain into at least maybe first gear and maybe give us an idea of a plan we might be able to come up with?
There's a dice roll involved there, my dude, and
There is.
you know what it is. That's
Yeah,
it's a presence.
It's a presence plus, which, okay. Now, I've rolled
is there
really
a
well for...
Is there a
for
specific difficulty
random
rating
things.
for that?
There is
Is it
actually. Hang on, wait a minute.
14? I want to say it's 14.
They are 14, yes. It is. So presence is +1.
Mm-hmm. So nat 1 or a nat 20?
A natural 20 for 21. So yes. Please, Barbarista, lead us all to our doom
DM,
and or
solve our
success.
puzzle for us.
He's,
Yes,
he's
please, DM.
fixed. All right. Look, flattery will get you somewhere.
So my nanny always used to say.
Didn't she? I
You remember Nanny, such a lovely woman.
I do. She was a terror.
But in a good way.
You can keep telling yourself that.
Oh, I do every night before bedtime.
I know. Look, it occurs to me that you have an opportunity here to set yourselves up rather nicely. There's a god down there in that sewer that has pressed you to its service, but seems a powerful creature, and I'd guess by those spots of blood on your foreheads that haven't washed off in the rain that you've been marked in some way, and probably better to go with it than not. I mean, look, live your life, or rather don't, because it'll probably be quite short if you disobey this thing. Also, who doesn't want to be on the good side of an actual deity, you know?
The horse makes a compelling point.
Also, big house, big, nice... those stables looked extremely... they needed a little work, but I think they could be made very comfortable. I think just go and kill the bastard. But be smart about it. I don't think burning the house down is a good idea, Otto, because then the house is burned down, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then there's no house to live in.
There's always next door. Next door look quite nice as well.
Did you sorry. No, that wasn't one of those.
No. Haga, please.
I seem to remember that you may have accidentally dispatched the butler on the way out. No, that's not a really posh voice. Haga's not posh.
You're just trying to impress the horse.
I am. I'm trying to. I've like suddenly gotten really posh.
Flirting with the horse. Is
Yeah,
like,
yeah, sure. It's the only half-decent creature in this world. So the butler did do a lot of screaming on the way out. Do you think he's still knocking around?
Oh, I only temporarily blessed him. He should have been fine after a few hours once the screaming stopped.
Yeah, you've been with Galesburg long enough to know that generally speaking, his hand ichor tends to paralyze people in a very painful way rather than kill them.
Okay.
Although you've probably seen him apply consistent contact to someone or something and probably kill it. I feel like if you held your hands, if you held your hands on someone for like an hour, I feel like that would probably kill them.
I've just got this image of him sort of paralyzing somebody, then basically shoving his hand in their mouth.
Yeah, yeah. And now we've all got that image too, Nick. Thank you.
So
you're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Do we remember? Well, do I remember if there's a sewer grate near that house?
It's a good question.
I mean, they'd probably have sewers in their own, like leading up into their own thing.
Bathroom.
Potentially.
Sort of people who have plumbing and all that shit.
It's a good thought coming in from beneath. I like it. There were a number of quite heavily armed guards on the outside of the place. I don't fancy tangling with them.
Also,
Well-
like the baby man can come with us / wait below, rather than I don't know.
Cool.
Well, my
Back into
first
the
thought is-
sewers then.
Listen, this plot's got to move somewhere. We might as well. Um,
Doesn't it? Yes.
Well, my vote with all the guards and everything is maybe we could poison them. They will have to drink from something, right? You know, I
Oh,
dip
Sky,
my hands
no,
into it for a
no.
bit.
Oh, that's
You poisoned that dog.
That's actually
Have dog
not.
drama.
That's actually not a terrible idea.
No.
Maybe
no.
maybe you could
Sorry.
have a bath in the well.
Yes.
Cool. Cool. I
Not
start.
that I'm saying you're dirty at all. You are. You're absolutely filthy. But that's not what I was saying. I'm only being nice to you because your God's actually alive and down there.
Yes, I think makes sense to be nice to the Pope of the New World.
Cool.
Would you
we
be
head
the
towards
Pope or the anti-Pope?
Mega
Hard to
Pope.
say. Yeah, when I get my own skeleton mech.
Yeah. The Pope Mac. We find the well and we begin poisoning it, or we go under
Just
the ground.
Instantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's your just give me a thought on your approach, and we can hop to that.
Well, presumably the well would be within the walls of the manor house.
Yeah.
So if we
the-
go
the-
through this,
The house itself
sewers.
doesn't have big walls around it. It's in
Oh, it's
the
just-
fancier district of the city. It does not have high walls around it. It has
well, would it
guards.
have a well perhaps
Yeah,
in the,
I think
the
it
basement?
would, potentially. Yeah.
Because that's what I had in my palace.
Well, then.
Well.
That's canon.
then-
Let's
then
go.
That's canon.
So that's my suggestion as to where the well might be because I had one.
Great.
So,
Cool. We go in the sewer. We climb up a thing. We come out, clang, and then we're like, and we dip the
Splash.
boy in the well.
Uh huh.
We lie in wait
Yeah.
stealthily.
And then you fight. You have the fight. You win, and we end the stream now.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for coming, everybody. That was,
I was
part
just-
2.
I was laying
just,
out
we
the
just spend
plan.
the next
He's laying out the plan.
So you're gonna head back into the sewers here, or you're gonna try and get closer to the house and find your way back underneath that way.
Whoa. Sorry.
Yes.
Everything okay, Beth?
Yes. Yeah, a
Good.
door just slammed, but I wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I think that's a remarkably astute plan on our behalf. We should move closer to the house without being seen by anybody from the house.
Love
Go
it.
down into the sewers, come up out of the sewers, and
Begin
it
the ascent.
spirals from there.
Fantastic. Oh, Adam, did you have something?
Oh, I was just thinking, is there any, like, how could we guarantee that they're going to drink, though? We need someone to see it. I was wondering,
I think poisoning might take too long. I think we have a knife that kills people on a 7.
oh, that's definitely my plan for Mr. Irvang. Yes, I will tear out his
I
heart
mean-
with my knife and then
Yeah.
drop him down the sewer.
I feel like just bursting out of a sewer is enough.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. You might find poisoning opportunities on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just high five to the face.
Well, I was just
Or-
wondering if
yeah.
Otto wanted to invite him for like high tea or something, and then poison the food while we're there.
Well, again, I'll say. I mean, Barbarista, given that you nat 20'd on this, he'll chime in just one more time with one small piece of information, which is.
Yeah.
So, Lord Irvang himself, I mean, he doesn't know any of this has happened as far as we know. So what? You could just walk back in, right?
Walk back in, get seen in the library, smash all the glass,
I
and
mean,
activate the objects.
I'm not saying it's a better plan. I'm just saying he.
I just like a sewer though. Maybe we do both. Two-pronged
Ooh.
attack.
Split the party.
Yes,
Very good for a
splitting
stream.
the party. I've always heard that's a good idea.
I've had that, so it's the best idea.
I vote sewers. Let's go.
Sewers?
Yeah,
It's
we're doing
naturally
it.
more at home in a sewer. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the element of surprise is funner.
Sounds like sewers.
Did you want to send Prince Otto off to talk to Lord Irvine?
I think
or...
I enjoy seeing Prince Otto have to walk through sewers, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm afraid so.
Okay.
I worry for your safety alone.
It's dangerous out there. Take this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take this
Take
sewer.
this horrible sword
take
that
this
hates
magic
you.
sword that hates
Yeah.
you. Take this this wonderful
Magic horse that hates
magic
you,
horse that
yeah.
hates you. Take these 3 servants that hate you.
Yeah, I mean, all
It do be
deserved.
like that.
You're rich.
Into a world that hates you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make
not
your
negativity.
way through the streets of Galgenbeck in the direction of Irvang Manor. And when you think yourselves about a street away, you cast about for another sewer entrance. I'd love a presence test from everybody, please.
Cool. I got a natural 1.
I got a 16.
14.
I got 19.
Oh,
These dice are rolling much better today than they
rolling
did last
hot.
week.
Anyone crack a 19?
Nah.
All right.
Well, I got 19 in total. So.
Yeah. So Prince Otto, you're sort of listlessly letting the help look for the sewer entrance.
Always.
And you happen to, step backwards and your well-heeled shoe clanks slightly and you look down and see a manhole cover.
I like to think one of these stacked heels actually gets caught in the
Gets
grating.
caught in it. Amazing.
Oh, for goodness sake. These shoes... I won't tell you how much these shoes cost because you'll only be jealous and you want a pair. But I think I might have found what we're looking for, chaps.
You move over towards this see this sewer grate. This is heavy, like heavy iron this time. A little better maintained than the door you pushed open to get back into the street. It looks heavy, and as you approach and see Prince Otto's got his shoe loosely caught in it, you hear from the just around a corner in the sort of network of alleys that you're in, the sound of meandering armored boots heading in your direction.
I help Haga to try and flip this thing off
Great.
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Let's get strength from Hager and Bloodless Keith, please.
Yeah.
I don't. I step back.
17.
7. I'm not very helpful.
You're not, but Hager's very strong. Hager, you pull this grate loose and slide it to the side, and quickly you're all kind of ushered down this ladder, and as you're going down, Barbarista sort of leans his head down as you're climbing down this slimy ladder. Good luck storming the castle, I suppose.
No.
Fair
Clang.
enough.
Leave the
And
horse behind.
Oh,
He can't-
Barbarista, I thought you were incredible.
please. And you watch him. He just lifts a hoof and just effortlessly closes the manhole cover over the top of you, and you just hear him sort of gently clop away. And as you're kind of quietly in the bottom, you hear those hooves recede. And from the direction that the armored boots are moving in, you just hear a slightly distant voice go, "Oh, what a lovely horse!" And you find yourselves in a sewer once again, making your way down these tunnels. Let me get another presence test from you guys, just for some pathfinding. Tough to maneuver down here.
18.
11.
9.
Wow. Hager is doing literally, in some cases, all of the heavy lifting here. Hager, I don't know what it, maybe it's just that you're more of a visual learner.
Yeah.
You are sort of finding your way through this network of
Just very comfortable in a sewer environment.
sewer tunnels. Yeah. And you with it was an 18.
Yeah.
With an 18, you find your way to another one of these sort of slimy ladders, and you are pretty certain that you are currently underneath Ervag Manor. And looking up with you've still got this torch that Bloodless Keith was handed. I don't know if it's changed hands at all in the intervening time. It's still burning, like it hasn't stopped burning at any point. It's not gutted. It's not, reduced in light.
So this blood is potentially an endless fuel source.
Yeah,
We should bring about a new age of technology.
exactly. Yeah, or just drown. And you hold up the torch, Bloodless Keith, and you see top of the slimy ladder is a wooden hatch. There is a padlock on the wooden hatch.
Cool.
Can I just shove it upwards and see if it breaks?
Stealthy.
Yeah, you can.
I think as we're seasoning this up, I'm just like, Haga, if we're gonna die, there's some things I need to. I ever told you some, and then it's just like,
Yeah. That's a 15.
15. You sort of get yourself most of the way up the ladder, get your head out of the way, and then kind of slam your shoulder up into this door. And the padlocked bit doesn't go anywhere, but the wood cracks. Doesn't burst open, but it cracks outward. Quite a loud noise, not gonna lie. But the hatch is not immediately shattered, but you've definitely damaged it noisily.
Maybe I should have used my brains.
No, it's okay.
I don't have any. It's
No.
fine.
Use
I
your
mean, I could have
teeth.
just used a drill.
You've literally got
I've
a drill.
literally got a drill. After I've done that, I'm going to get the drill out of my bag and carefully drill through the lock.
Amazing. Give me agility to carefully drill through the lock.
Okay. That is a nat 20.
Oh,
It's so silent.
Nice.
so there is this crack of splintering wood as this hatch buckles upwards, and then just very quietly, like, as you gently drill around the area where the sort of fasteners that the padlock is attached to are attached to the wood, and you like unscrew those like little screw bit by you're sort of dropping these little tiny bits of metal very quietly down into the tunnel underneath you, and you workmanlike just remove all the parts of this door.
And then slam it open really loud.
Goosh. But yeah, just you flip it open, and we have this shot of low to the ground where there's this hole, and then we just see Haga's head just rise up. Teeth come last. And Haga, you look around, and mixing quite unpleasantly with the smell of the sewer that you're just coming out. Oh, I guess it's up to you whether it's unpleasant.
It's pretty unpleasant. I just don't mind it that much.
Is the scent of old wine, and you find yourself in a wine cellar. There are cracked barrels lining the walls. There are some very dusty bottles, some of which are sort of shattered, a few of which seem to have like weirdly burst, and there's sort of dried red, almost like blood kind of sprayed down underneath them, but even that is kind of like has spider webs and dust all over it. Like this is not a wine cellar that's been in any, at least this part of it, in any serious use recently.
Are
But
any of them intact?
yes, there are a couple of bottles and a couple of these big casks that are intact.
Cool.
Yes.
I'm gonna have a little bottle just to celebrate my
Yeah.
beautiful workmanship.
You like slide a bottle out,
Yeah,
give it a shake.
yeah.
There's liquid in it.
Oh,
Bite the cork off.
You shouldn't shake it. You're disturb the sediment at the
Literally a moment
I spit the cork at his face.
Dunk.
and you just chug.
Yeah, chug it.
Just begin to chug. I mean, it's rancid. Like I'm not gonna. But yeah, I mean,
It's probably alcoholic though.
it's Yeah, once. Yeah.
I mean, that's the only reason I don't immediately die of dysentery. It's because there was some alcohol in there.
You chug down most of this bottle of wine. The rest of you come up and out and find yourselves in this wine cellar. Looking around, you see, as I've described, these casks and barrels, many of which are broken open, some of which are intact. And at the far end of this room is another door. Doesn't look like there's another exit from this room. There's the hatch you came through, and then there's this other door at the far end. And you can see just sort of the outline of the door. Around it, there is light. And cocking an ear, a mumble of sound of some description.
With the blue flame that we've got, can I see if there are any footprints going through the wine cellar, or is it just undisturbed dust?
Easy enough to do. You grab Bloodless Keith's hand and move it where you want it to be. And you see the area that you're in looks largely undisturbed, but creeping forward a tiny bit, not getting too close to the door, and pulling Bloodless Keith with you and leaning the torch out, you can see that from the door, I've dropped my pen, from the door, there is you can see this sort of movement of footprints that only really go to a couple of casks and racks that are closer to the door, that look a little bit more used than back here. You've sort of come up and out in this disused corner of this wine cellar.
I would like to try and have a listen at the door.
You creep over to the door quietly as you can, and the closer you get, you can hear the sound of back and forth chatter. And you realize that the slamming of the door probably didn't warrant any attention, because there is what sounds like quite a rowdy, you'd guess, card game happening on the other side of this door.
Do they sound like presumably I would know the difference, but do they sound like servants or like guards?
Your commoner sense is tingling.
Yeah.
Sounds more like guards than servants, I'll say.
Right, okay. I sneak backwards and then shout in a very loud voice. No, I think there might be guards on the other side of the door. I don't know what tells me that. All commoners are alike to me, but they sound a bit more guttural, if you like, than normal servants. Servants have this kind of fawning aspect to them, whereas the guards, they're a bit more hard nosed, if you see what I mean.
What is it like living in your head?
Oh, it's delightful.
Oh God.
I can tell if you want. I mean, being a nihilist, I mean, one does tend to live in one's own head.
I just put my hand over his face.
Yeah. I hate to give Otto anything else to do, but I think he's the most likely to not get stabbed on sight.
Are you sure? Because I wanted to stab him when I saw him.
Usually it's after
maybe
he
not
opens
stabbed
his
by
mouth.
people he's just met. People he's known for more than 5 minutes, yes. People he's just met might give him the benefit
I
of the doubt.
feel like maybe hello, I'm terribly lost. Might draw
Your
them
wine
in.
cellar.
I was here for the party last
Amazing.
night and got locked in.
And then we're waiting behind the door and we're like, "Wah!"
You turn around, you see Otto sort of pouring the remnants of wine over the rags, the once rich rags that he's wearing.
He's dying.
There's so many dregs in the wine.
And holding a miraculously unbroken wine bottle in one hand. Well, I don't quite know where I am. I came
Okay,
to
great.
in the
And we're
dark.
doing this. Cool. I find a barrel and like scooch down behind it.
Any other preparations before whatever it is that you're about to do happens?
Gonna
I would
stand
like
behind the
to-
door.
Lard a step.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Nice. You lard up a step.
Yeah,
I do
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I'm going to put my caltrops at the bottom of the steps as well.
Oh,
so when they
now,
slip
this
on the
time-
lard, they fall
this-
into the caltrops. This time they will work.
Okay. I'm gonna say that the noise of the card game, the card game is rowdy enough that you guys are being quiet. I'm not gonna have you roll constant stealth checks to do these setup things. And so with Hager in position, a step suitably larded, caltrops placed, you sort of take your positions wherever it is that you're going to be. And before I assume Prince Otto engages, you hear another little whisper suddenly in your mind, Gelsbrig. The voice of Varka returns. There's this sort of chilling, hollow, scraping echo, almost like someone plugging in a microphone. Honestly, don't know why that's where my brain went. Probably because I'm literally looking at one. And you hear Varka's voice just sort of hiss gently in your ear.
Spill blood in my name.
And all of you may re-roll your omens.
Cool. Is it D4?
It's whatever it says on your character sheet.
If it's less than what I have now, do I keep what I've got now?
Yes, I'll say so.
Because I've still got 3.
I'll check for you, Beth, if you like.
Yeah.
I believe. That's right, everyone. Live looking at a book. This is what you came for.
Nerds.
It's a D2, so it's 1 or 2. So
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So-
omens, not powers. Right. Okay. Yeah, omens. I've
Yeah,
got 1.
okay.
So in that case, I rolled a 3. So that counts as 2. So excellent.
I
Nice.
rolled a 4 and a D8, so I think that's 1.
I rolled a 4 and a d6, which is 2.
nice.
I should have rolled a D6.
I
then.
love
With-
the way that we're all doing this.
This is great.
Yeah.
Let's tell everyone what you've done.
I'll also
I
say
rolled a
back
D.
to.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I'll just reply to Varka. He tuned in for a second. Just
Yeah.
it's glad to hear you're more coherent nowadays, my lord. Much clearer.
Well, all I could manage in my prison was to scream.
I heard a lot.
It's sort
I
of
remember.
it's sort of fitting together now. You're like, yeah, like you were just trapped in a box. All you could do was shriek and scream because you were trapped in a box.
I'd be the same. Amazing.
Okay, engage, guys. What you got?
Cool.
What
I
happens?
lean forward and I knock on the door.
Okay. Wait,
from,
I
like,
thought you
the
were
side.
hidden behind a thing.
Yeah, no, I'm behind a barrel. Like,
Oh,
next
but you're
to the
like
door.
close to the door. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm
So
like,
you and
bonk,
I'm
bonk.
imagining you and Hager on either side of this door at this
Yeah.
point.
Got
Okay,
it.
great.
I'm hiding at the back of the room with my sling out.
Nice.
And I think that Otto is a little bit further back, so you have to get to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good shout.
Position so that were the door to open, enough light would come in to just show Otto and no one else.
Yes.
Amazing.
Fair.
Naomi
okay.
has plans.
Keith, you lean out and
Bok. I don't really like
you do a dainty.
a
Like a
dainty
posh-
in a
dainty
little
knot.
weird little rhythm. I'm like, I guess this will bark. Bark.
You sort of can't help but think, Prince Otto, that Bloodless Keith is mocking you in this sort of like, this is how you would knock. Basically.
That's commoners for you.
It's yeah. And yeah, the noise of the card game kind of like comes down a little bit, and then you hear a kind of muttering of like, well, who's in
Point to Otto like, this is
what did
your
everyone's
cue.
down here? Who's and you hear a sort of exasperated from somebody behind this door. It's fine. And somebody gets up and begins to move towards the door. There's a little click as the latch opens. The door opens up. Light floods in from this well-lit room beyond, and illuminated as though, beginners on stage
In a
is
spotlight.
is Prince Otto.
Can I just backtrack just a tiny bit?
Of course.
I've got my leg caught in a barrel.
Sure.
A common injury.
but sort of quite attractively caught in the barrel.
Flirtatiously
yeah.
barrel trap.
Showing off my shapely calves, with
My
think
stocking.
high-heeled buckled shoes.
I think
caught.
I've seen this video.
It's in Barrel Trapped Monthly.
Oh, thank goodness you found me. I've been down here for I don't know how long. I was here for a party, and I don't know what came over me. Well, something, obviously, but
This is amazing.
Yes.
I woke up down here, and I don't know what I could possibly have done, but my leg appears to be trapped. I wonder if you gentlemen could possibly help me.
Okay. Please roll presence, Prince Otto.
With advantage.
No, yes. There's not a thing in this game. I apologize. Roll it with advantage, and no, it isn't because Nick complimented me in the opening.
That's good because the first one was a 3.
It's good acting.
And
It
the
deserves to be
second one was a 17. So
Oh boy.
nice.
So Prince Otto is not a man who is capable of that like sharp, commanding way of speaking that a nobleman might have to command a common. He just doesn't have. He thinks he does, but he doesn't have it. So this isn't that kind of moment where, against all reason, the sheer authority of this man like cuts through to this guard and he comes to help. It's more the absolute, the surreal. It's this kind of half pathetic, half. He can't reason with exactly what's happening. I can't reason with exactly what's happening. And this guard just in total bafflement is just sort of stares at you and sure, yeah. And he takes a step forward onto the larded step. I'm gonna make a little roll here
A large roll.
to see what happens. He's gonna roll an agility check. Okay. He does the little like whoop thing, but completely keeps his balance, and then steps heavily onto the couch box.
Can I grab him by the back of the neck,
Yep.
and just shove my sack in his mouth so he doesn't make any noise?
So yes, but first this is great. First, I would very much like caltrop damage from Adam, please.
are they covered in your
Good.
seepings?
Well, they do cause infection on a 1 in 6 chance. I don't know what infection is, but I like to think it's my ichor all over it.
It within the context of the game, it prevents you from regaining health from rests. But if you want to have ichored up these caltrops beforehand, then we can do damage and paralysis if you want to.
Yeah, I just roll them in my hands. Get them all.
It doesn't take
seepy.
much, right? You are constantly spewing this stuff out of your hands.
It's harder to not infect them than to
Yeah, exactly.
That would be the full 4 points of damage.
Oh, nice.
Bloodless Keith, you stuff your sack into the mouth of a dead man.
I drag him by the shoulders and put him behind a
it's
wine
less
rack.
the sack thing and more the catching of this body and then moving it out of the way. He doesn't really even get the chance to scream. He steps heavily on these caltrops, like at least sort of 5 or 6 of them punch right through the soft. Like he's just in like he's in casual wear. Like these guards have like doffed their armor. They're clearly off duty, and he just He's even maybe just in socks, and about 6 of these caltrops just punch right into the underside of his left foot. And as his body tries to scream, let's call it the blood of Varka that has seeped up through his foot kind of catches his throat, and then Blood of Keith's sack is stuffed into his mouth, and he's pulled behind a barrel. And then we're just left with this open doorway with light coming out of it. There is a short pause, and then you hear a voice from the other room go, Dave? And we're gonna go to a break. We'll be right back. Join us, I think 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
That's how I sound when I'm uncertain. But we will see you in 10. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Go, go. Guess who's back?
Hello.
Back again.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Hi.
So, you've killed a man.
Technically, he sort of death by accident,
that's on
misadventure.
him.
Lair
That's on
action.
him. Those caltrops had always been there.
Yeah. You should be more prepared. You should wear shoes.
Yeah.
You should
It
just wear shoes.
It has
You
been
really
established the caltrops only kill heretics, and therefore we're in the clear.
Sorted.
I've not got a problem with killing people. People have a problem with me killing people, but I don't.
should.
People have a problem with you.
In the sudden quiet in this wine cellar and the room beyond, what do you do? Bloodless Keith is carefully lowering a body to the ground.
Yeah. I point
On
to
the side
Otto
of the
again. I'm
door.
like,
I try and reset my performance. I said, "Oh, help me! If somebody has fallen and they can't get up."
You hear the sound of like 3 chairs scraping backwards, and movement, and the light of the doorway is obstructed again as another man appears in the doorway.
Oh, help me! I'm stuck in a barrel, and somebody came and they fell, and I can't see them.
Where's Dave? Dave, come on, mate. Look, what's going on? And this guy, like, he reaches to the short sword he has at his side
he's gonna get us first.
and takes a step down onto the larded step
Lard is the real MVP of this game.
It really is.
That's what's known in the business as a natty 1.
Hell yeah.
This man, he in one smooth motion
Oh no!
draws his short sword with a scrape, steps onto the larded step, goes like fully both legs up and out into the air, lands with his entire back on all of the caltrops, and also somehow stabs himself in the stomach. There is sadly no real option at this point to stop this man from crying out as this happens. But his sort of it's not so much a scream of pain, it's more the shout of like, whoa, fuck, and then like bang as he hits the ground, and then as his short sword just kind of embeds itself in his gut.
Another tragic accident.
They really need to install a handrail on these stairs.
And these two other off-duty guards move into the space, and I'm gonna make a roll.
Are they smart enough to avoid the stair?
They are. These two move in, they look down, they see their compatriot impaled on his own sword lying on the ground in front of the step. And
Bonk.
these two step out sideways carefully, avoiding the step and the caltrops, but sadly positioning themselves kind of exactly opposite Hager and Bloodless Kiev.
Yeah, I'm gonna
At which
yeah.
point all of you may act.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, gentlemen, oh, please help me. I'm stuck in a barrel. I don't know quite how I got here. Your friends, they came and they fallen and they can't get up.
I take a bite out of the side of the guy's head.
All right, Hager just
he's
lunges out of the darkness at the guard closest to her. Give me an attack roll, please.
Oh, that is a 6, so I fail.
It's
Do you want to use an omen?
You could use an omen.
To
but
reroll.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
gonna do that.
You're gonna reroll with an omen.
That's a 16.
That's a 16. You bite into this guy.
Yeah,
Make a damage roll for your tooth damage. I don't know what you roll for tooth damage.
A D6.
D6.
Ooh.
2. You crunch down into this guy's. You were kind of going for the neck, but he's moved his shoulder slightly, so you just bite a chunk out of this guy's shoulder. He looks badly hurt, but he's still standing.
I'm
Cover
still
that
holding
man's
on
mouth.
with my mouth.
Yeah. Bloodless Kiev.
I
wanna go?
Shove
As the
the
closest?
sack in his face.
The same. Well, you've got a guard right next to you. There's two of these guys.
Yeah, I know,
One-
I know. I mean my one.
Great. You throw a sack over this guy's head.
Yeah, sure. And I just pull him backwards and bonk him on the head and sort of lay him out
Okay. Give me.
for Gelsbrig to like take on as I go.
All right. Well, give me agility first to get a bag over this guy's head.
Sure. Will a 14 do?
A 14 will absolutely do it. You flip the bag over this guy's head, and he. Oh, what the fuck? And then you may swing with your femur, I believe it is. You only need a 10.
Cool, I got a 17.
17. Roll femur damage, please.
Cool beans. 2 damage.
2. You pull a bag over this guy's head and crack him on the head through the bag. He grunts in pain as you pull him backwards. Both of these guys are still standing.
Yeah.
Let's have Gelsbrig.
I've just realised I also have 1 to 2 on a D6 chance that the enemy gets a free attack, so I should probably roll that.
Let's do that. Thank you for your honesty.
It's a 4. Real good.
Fantastic. Gelsbrig, would you like to loose a slingstone?
I would indeed.
Who are you going for? Sack head or bite shoulder?
I'll go for Sackhead.
All right.
Okay.
So it's presence for range attacks.
His presence, that is
Yeah.
a flat 19.
19, roll damage for your slingstone.
It's a D4. Yes, it is. And a 4. I
A
am rolling well.
4. The Keith, as you're pulling this guy back with the bag over his head, you've just whacked him. One of Gelsbrig's sling stones just hits kind of mid-center mass of the bag. The body jerks, goes limp, and the inside of your sack begins to...
I think I'm holding the sack and the guy just like flops out the bottom of
falls
it.
out of it. You just grab the top of it, and yeah, this guy flops out, and you see like right here, sort of between the brows, has just kind of folded in a little bit, and he slumps to the ground. There's one left. Prince Otto, do you do anything?
I would like to, because I was pretending that my leg was in a barrel.
Of course.
It's not actually in a barrel.
It's a very good act.
You had us all convinced.
Yeah.
Exactly. In fact, it's literally just like an open top, so I just lift my leg out of it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And lunge with Kring.
You draw Kring. Yes. And make an attack.
Oh, are you thirsty? And that's a 14.
14.
With a -1, so it's 13.
13, I believe, is still going to hit for
Yeah,
Kring.
it's a DR10, yeah.
DR10, roll damage.
That's a D6 plus 1.
You're probably going to be okay.
That's 2.
All you needed. You thrust Kring sort of into this guy's midsection and impale him. And he having, Haga still latched onto his shoulder, and you just punch through him with the sword, and there is the telltale gulping sound of Kring drinking deep of this man's blood.
As I've lunged and I stick the sword all the way through him, I end up with my mouth next to his ear and say, "Oh, good night, sweet prince." "Oh, I'm sorry, that's me."
He slumps to the ground, falling off the blade, and again there is silence.
Sorry, he does hang out of my mouth for a bit.
Yeah, there's a...
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm taking a chunk of shoulder because that's a good meat. I'm just gonna have a little chew.
Yeah. I'm going to just pull one of the bodies and just like drop it down the sewer grating.
Yeah.
Throwing bodies into the hole.
Just throwing bodies into the hole.
I just give everyone a thumbs up and go, well done, Team Varka.
I'm not feeding the god. I'm just hiding the bodies. And then I look at I'm sort of just like.
In the next room is all of their outfits, because I think it's time for an outfit change. We should dress as guards, go in.
Oh, guys. If you guys want to dress up as fully plate armored guards, there are 4 sets of armor in this room.
You know that.
I mean, I'm wearing plate armor anyway.
You are wearing plate armor. It is very distinctive plate armor, and absolutely not the plate armor of this house's guards. But
I'm guessing it looks like it's almost bolted to you.
Yeah.
If need be, then Haga can be our victim.
No, I was just gonna take mine off and come back for it.
Don't annoy the Wookiee. He'll pull your arms off.
Yeah.
Okay. Go for that. Just so you guys know, plate armor is wonderful, but it will incur, let's see, this will be heavy armor. It will make all agility tests +4 more difficult, and your defense rolls also +2 more difficult. So it's harder to be agile and also harder to protect yourself, but you are rolling a d6 to negate incoming damage.
Okay, cool.
Is there, was one of the guards perhaps a higher rank than the others?
It doesn't look like it, no. Unfortunately, if you go, and yes, you're making this calculation, Prince Otto. Unfortunately, if you do go with this deception, you will have to pretend you are the same as these other people.
Oh, I don't think I could go with that.
We can make Prince Otto the fucking victim. Everyone will believe that we can overpower him. Let's go.
That's a good point.
And then you can talk your way out of it and be like, "Oh, I was just in the neighborhood and I got caught."
And we definitely won't hit you with anything.
Yeah.
I might like it.
Is that all?
No, we kill Otto in this moment and decide to just go it alone.
No, we kill him and we bring his body in as a
Cool.
Are we going? Are we
We're
going
doing
with
quick
the?
change,
Are we
yeah.
going with the disguise yourselves as
Yep.
guards
Yes.
ploy?
I think
It's
so.
a classic.
Okay,
Yeah.
it is. It is a classic for a reason.
I'm going to
if-
have a look and see if there are any better vintages of wine that I can maybe have a drink.
Yeah, while they're all kind of digging around and
I'm
having
also
a look
looking
at
to see if there's anything of interest, like stashed anywhere.
that. Okay,
Like,
so
not necessarily on the bodies, because they were
In their
not
socks.
in uniform. Yeah, in socks.
Yeah.
In socks and underwear, just playing strip poker in the dungeon. But
give.
so I'm
You
having
know
a look.
what?
To see
That wasn't
if-
my intention, but that's absolutely what they were doing.
yeah.
I am going to shove the other 3 bodies down the sewer, though, and just make a little silent prayer to Varka. Here you go, God buddy. More flesh.
More grist for the mill. Yeah.
blood for the blood god.
Blood for the blood god.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Okay. While everyone else is donning this plate armor,
I'm just going to tuck my proper armor away in the wine cellar because I feel like we may go out that way.
hide it somewhere nice.
Yeah, 'cause
Also,
I'd like it back.
for anyone who wants a sword, there are 4 swords. Also, if anyone would like to take a sword,
I don't think Kring would
no.
allow that.
It also
Yeah.
would be insane to not use Crane. Sword's a d6 damage.
Cool.
So you know, if anyone wants to
I'll
take a
take a
sword,
sword.
grab a sword.
I've got one.
I mean, it also probably you'd want it. It kind of completes the
look.
deception.
Yeah.
While everyone else is donning this armor, yeah, Prince Otto, give me a d6 roll. So that's roll 2d6 and create a 2-digit number with it.
Okay.
So first roll is the
That
first,
is a
second
4.
roll is the second. All right.
And a 1. So 41.
41. Interesting. Prince Otto, you dig out of you find it sort of stuffed in the neck of one of these wine bottles while you're sort of looking around for a nice vintage. There is this rolled piece of parchment, and you pull it out, and it seems of note to you because it looks much newer than a lot of the other things in this wine cellar. You're pulling out of the neck of a very dusty bottle, and it itself is quite crisp. And unrolling it, you see a beautiful pencil drawing of your ancestral home in Vastland.
Ooh.
And a map to it, directions to it, which you wouldn't necessarily need. But what strikes you as odd is this has clearly been drawn since your home collapsed. And it's complete. It's beautiful. It's as it was in your in the sort of heyday of your family. But you know it fell apart. But here it is. Like somebody drew it from sight. Very strange.
I wonder what that could mean.
Me too, honestly.
Cross that bridge if we come to it.
Yes, Naomi.
I would like to take a time to do an awkward character moment.
I love that.
Thank you. Hagar and I are changing. And Kiva's sort of like aggressively averting his eyes from Hagar. He's like, so, if this is the end, I killed your husband, is that cool?
I thought I killed him.
No, I pushed him into the meat grinder. You did turn the meat grinder on, and I
did.
appreciate that. But
Yeah.
I said he fell. It was more of a like.
So it's a kind of teamwork sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Are you and the horse together? Because I kind of like killed your husband.
I don't know.
Um.
I'm seeing where it goes.
Okay. After this, if the horse doesn't work out,
We
do you
can
want to eat
go
some
get
meat
some
from
teeth.
the meat grinder or like
Probably
something?
a different meat grinder.
I mean, I'm open. I'm just trying to be flexible.
Oh yeah, no, it's just because the brains are bad for you.
Okay. So.
If
look
the horse
great.
doesn't work out.
Okay, if the horse doesn't work, thank
Yeah,
you.
Yeah, you are firmly second choice to horse.
This is the best day of my goddamn life. And I clunk my way out.
Yeah, you do a little
Okay.
like skip.
Having taken the armor and weapons from these guards that you roundly dispatched with
Looney Tunes.
yeah, it really was. Which I you know, it's that's kind of perfect for this game, really. Like, really, if you read the book, anyway.
It's just Looney Tunes with guts.
Kinda.
Yeah.
You take the obvious route out of this room that the guys were so recently playing a delightful game of strip poker in. You sort of tramp up these steps, creaky steps, and opening a door at the top, you find yourselves a little side door that opens out into the sort of receiving hall that you came into on your first entry into this house. You know that to your left are the large double doors that open out into the not into the street, but out into the outside. You have to assume that there are guards on that door on the outside. And to your right is the staircase that leads up in where you met with Lord Irvang.
Straight into the library, I think.
Yeah,
There's gubbins in there.
Yeah.
I have strong feelings.
Okay.
Like, let's go.
As
Also,
you guys,
can we check?
yep.
Otto,
Sorry.
did you join us, or are you our prisoner? Like, what's the plan?
No, yeah, I'll be the prisoner. And as soon as we
Playing-
see
playing
people,
prisoner.
if it's just servants, then I'm not going to say anything at all because, as I said, servants are
Nothing.
they're differential. They're nothing. However, if it's a higher cadre of servant or guards, I would immediately start saying, well, it's not my fault if you have such a stupidly designed house that I get lost when I come to visit the Lord.
You see a couple of like servant boys who are sort of sweeping in one corner that like they look when you guys come out and then sort of look away immediately and kind of carry on with what they're doing. But as you begin to move up the stairs, at the top of the stairs, standing, takes you a second to even notice him, standing rigidly by the door to the library, is Cedric the butler.
We caught him creeping in the basement.
Well, as I said to you there in the basement, if you have such a stupidly designed house that I get lost coming from the front door to visit Lord... I don't know. What am I going to do?
I think he had some of the wine.
Glares at all of you, kind of unblinking. And Prince Otto's going to need to roll presence to be convincing. Does anyone else reckons they could try to shore up this check? Then I'd love to hear it.
A dirty 20?
I'm not going to bother.
Man, sounds like you might not need to. This is going to be contested. I see. You're here to see my lord, I take it?
Yes.
This way. And he turns, leans an arm out and opens
I mean,
the
we
doors
don't
of the
want to
library.
disrupt him if he's having one of his affairs, of course. But if you'd like to show us to where he is, that would be delightful.
He pushes the door to the library open, and you lead Prince Otto in, and you feel this guy's eyes on all of you as you go past. This is the fancy plate armor of the guards you saw in the street and outside. So there is a helmet that does cover some of your face,
but not the sewage.
Not the well. I mean, you changed, right? So they,
I just imagine you great big teeth sticking out from underneath.
This is part of my thinking.
Yeah.
But yes, he doesn't stop you, and you move into the library, and he steps around the door behind you. And through this room, you see again, there are all of these sort of bookcases and the sliding staircases, the step ladders for accessing the higher shelves. There are these 2 rows of glass cabinets with strange things in each one of them. And at the far end of the room, at a big desk, you can see the hulking form of Lord Irvang, with his sort of leather strapped outfit. He's thrown his fur over the back of his chair, and he seems to be poring over this desk piled high with dusty old tomes. Crucially, you do not see any of his guards,
Shadow guards,
in this room at this moment in time, at least not without making a roll. And you move into the room.
I would like to walk up to the desk.
Sachet.
Swan. High, buckled high-heeled shoes. It's absolutely fine. With the crisp piece of paper with the beautifully detailed drawing of my ancestral home and the map on how to get there. On the back, does it say set fire to as soon as you get there? And I unroll it, and you know how you sort of you bend it very slightly to keep it flat, like a rolled up piece of paper. So I think you might have lost this one.
You sort of throw it down onto the desk, and he looks at it, cursory glance, barely acknowledges it, and then looks up at you. Where's my box?
We haven't got it. And I swing Kring at his head.
All right. That's an initiative roll if ever I heard one.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
At least one surprise round.
At least
Come on.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. You all need
It's a D20, isn't it?
No, it's your.
No,
It's a D6 plus your agility.
Oh, that's right.
And our agility is minus.
Your agility
Lots.
is whatever your agility is.
No, because we're wearing plate armor which we borrowed.
Yes. No, that's for checks. So it's just
Okay.
whatever your agility bonus is, your flat agility bonus. But thank you, Naomi. Points for you.
Hooray!
To
One and only time.
Flat 6.
Flat 6.
I did roll a
for
6, but I've got
Gelsberg.
-1, so that's 5.
5 for Prince Otto. A 1 for Bloodless Keith.
I'm rolling real good today.
Haga.
2.
2. All right. So Gelsberg up at the top.
Paralyze this man immediately.
Prince
Ah,
Otto
I was-
second. Then Haga. Then Bloodless Keith. Now, we're not doing full surprise round, but
I think that
am
Kring should
going to
get.
give Kring a swing on
With my arm.
with your arm
Yeah.
on Lord Irvang. So give me that attack roll, please.
It's just because normally my agility. Actually, normally I would get a -1 because it's strength. But as it's Kring using my arm, is it still a -1 or is it?
It
a
is.
flat?
It is still you technically swinging.
Yeah, okay.
He's using your strength. You know, that's all he can use to swing with.
It's a 16.
A 16 is gonna hit Lord
Well,
Irvang.
mainly because he's got a thingy of 10, so that's fine.
Absolutely. Give me some damage for Kring.
D6 + 1 is a 4.
4. 3. 1 point of damage negated by his armor. You swing Kring down, and Lord Irvang begins to push himself back in the chair, and Kring cuts into his shoulder, like through the armor, and draws just a little wisp of blood, which tries to like splatter away, but is like sucked up by the blade as it swings backwards. And Lord Irvang has shoved his chair back, and you see at his hip a sword, and it looks quite a lot like Kring. and he reaches for this blade and draws it. And there is this moment as they sort of cross in the air, and you just hear from Kring, "Ah, brother." And we're going to roll a little d6 to see which side of this little contretemps goes first. Little French for you there. Deal with it. Okay. That is you guys on a 4. So,
Nice.
beginning with Gelsbrig. Gelsbrig, what do you do?
Okay. Well, as these swords cross in the air, Gelsbrig is watching this unfold, and you see he lets the glove of his hand drop to the floor so that it's revealed, and he walks quickly up behind Lord Irvang and just grabs him round the throat from behind on his exposed flesh and just says, "Oh, resist not. God has come for you."
As you move across the room to get close to Lord Irvang, I will need an agility check from you.
Okay. This is
yeah.
with, what, a -4 because of the armor?
It's so technically the DR is just +4, so you need an 18.
That's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 17.
17.
Oof.
You reach out, you're reaching out your hand, kind of preparing what you are going to say, and suddenly grabbing onto the cloth, not the flesh part of you, grabbing onto the, well, not the cloth, the armor that you are wearing. These black cloaked guards, his hand just comes down on your arm and goes, "Don't get too close, son." And you see he's drawn his sort of long knife. Doesn't get to attack at this moment in time, but he has intercepted you as you move forward towards his lordship. Next up is going to be Prince Otto.
Okay, as the sword has come down like this, reverse the grip and slice it back up again.
Do it.
That's was an 11, it's now 10, so
10 still hits, I believe,
yeah.
with Kring.
And that is a whole 6 points.
Nice.
Nice.
I am able to negate 4 of that and just knock it down to a 2. The blades clash across, and you manage to nick Lord Irvang again as his sword flashes out, and there is just an exchange of blades over the top of this desk. It's very swashbuckly, or it would be if one of the men wasn't just kind of standing straight and holding his arm out and just kind of doing this. Lord Irvang at least seems to be trying to pretend to be sword fighting. Haga, you are up.
Cool. I'm going to throw my shoe at the Lord. Shoe for the Lord.
Do it.
A shoe.
That is
Bless you.
a 17 on a DR10.
17's gonna hit. Roll me some damage.
So that is D4
Death,
damage.
death.
That is 2 damage, and then I'm going to roll my D6 to see.
Oh, that's 2 damage. Let's see. Armor. 1 damage, unfortunately.
Okay. That's a 2, so I don't instantly kill
He
him.
doesn't instantly die. Your horseshoe clips Lord Irvang's ear as he's desperately trying to fight Prince Otto. And as you've thrown the horseshoe and it's returning to your hand, over your shoulder, you kind of look and you can just see another one of these guys has stepped out of somewhere and is closing on you, Haga.
I thought you were going to say you had a horseshoe, and I was like, fuck you.
Oh my god, yeah, they all got your weapons.
Yeah, they just us.
There's a guy coming at you with a femur, Bloodless Keith.
No!
Speaking of Bloodless Keith, it is your turn.
Cool. I'm not saying that Bloodless Keith is a one-trick pony. However, I would like to scramble across the desk and try and lard up this man's grip on his sword. I want to disarm him with the virtue of lard. That is my intention.
Truly one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. I will need an agility check from you. The DR is 18.
Cool.
Because you are wearing very heavy armor.
That's okay. I'm going to use an omen to drop that by 4.
That's how the rules work.
See if I can make it a 14. 18. Get fucked.
Hey!
Okay, that was to get there. You
cool.
you
That's
move.
cool.
You see one of these sort of dark gods has also emerged to grasp at you, and you just somehow, with a horrible clanking sound, manage to. And maybe you've larded up the joints before you got up here, so they're a little bit more supple. You're aware your lard stocks are running quite low.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think this is the last of your lard.
The
Just
lard.
say
Just
you're
to-
afraid of the larder.
Just to
that's
create,
fine.
I am. I'm just trying to create drama, okay? Yeah, you duck under the arms of this guy as he tries to grab you and leap up over and onto the desk. And I'll need a non-damaging melee attack from you to
Okay.
get lard on this guy's hands.
Will a 15 do?
15 is gonna do it. You guys are rolling real hot. You you tell me how you do this. How do you get lard on the hands of a man who's having a sword fight?
So he's having a sword fight, and obviously he's quite a big and impressive man, and I'm a small cube
You
in
are.
some tinfoil. So I crunkle across the desk on all fours, and then like up the side of him, and then along the arm, essentially. I spit out the lard from my mouth, and then I just go. I'm like,
Okay.
Larding up.
Creating some really weird images of like how big your character is here.
Yeah.
Like Bloodless Keeve
It's
is
like a
now
little crab.
Bloodless Keeve is now somehow the size of a chihuahua. Like that didn't happen. That's not how big Bloodless Keeve is. I love it. I love the lard spray. That's what
Cool.
I'm gonna
Thank
that's
you.
what I'm gonna take away from this. You
Tiny,
take
tiny
that last sort of palm-sized clump of lard you had left, jam it into your mouth, chew it into submission, and then just like spray it in a stream onto Lord Irving's hands. And I will now give him a little agility roll to see if he keeps hold of his sword. He does not with a 9. Kring's brother slips from his grasp and thumps onto the desk, which takes us to the bottom of the order. Of you guys, at least, it is now retaliation time.
What's the brother's sword called?
We'll have to ask him.
Clang.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's where
Krang, I think
he
his
is
name
honestly Krang was where I was going to
Yeah.
go. I realize it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles villain, but I don't care. Yeah. So coming in on, let's do you guys first. Coming in on Haga, one of these dark gods, toe to toe with you, has his short sword out. It's going to take a slash at you.
Okay.
So roll defense for me, please.
Yes.
Remember, you are in plate armor, so your defense roll is 2 steps more difficult.
That's a nat 1. He cuts off my head.
Oof. He doesn't cut off your head, but
hey, you want to use an omen for a reroll?
That's a good point. No, wait, I only had one omen, and I think I used it. Did I use it
think
before?
you did. You
Yeah.
did use it before.
Yeah.
Let's see if he cuts off your head.
Can I use an omen to neutralize that fumble?
Yes,
I would like to use
because
an
you can
omen.
force anyone's
Yay.
reroll. So
Yeah, so I
Nice.
will force a reroll.
all right,
On your
standard.
defense.
Oh, you can force a defense reroll. Go for it.
Yes.
2.
All right, so it's not double
Neutralizes
damage.
a fumble.
It's not double
yeah.
damage coming in. That's 3 points of damage. So you've got a d6 to roll to see how much you can negate that by.
1.
1,
So I
2
take
points
2
of
points of
damage.
damage.
He gets up under the armor a little bit, not quite as much as he wants to, and manages to stab into your side with the short sword.
Don't do that.
Next up, we have one of these dark guards. The one who grabbed your arm, Gelsbrig, brings his other arm around with the blade and is going to attempt to shank you. Make a defense roll for me, please.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Do you add anything to a defense? Is it just
Oh yes, it's agility. So it's agility bonuses, but you need a 16 on this because it's 2 steps higher.
okay. That would be a 5.
Actually, no, I was incorrect there. You need a 14 on it. Sorry, because it's 2 points higher. But a 5 is not going to do it. damage coming your way. 3 points of damage, but you do have a d6 to negate
D6
that with.
soak.
That's 5 soak, so
5
no damage.
cannot punch through the armor. You've turned your body enough, and his short sword scrapes against the plate, doing no damage to you. Keith, as you've just like blah, spat out all of this lard, someone like grabs you from behind and attempts to stab you in the back. Give me a defense roll.
Cool. 6.
6. That's not good enough. 4 points of damage coming your way.
Cool beans. I negate with a 4.
You negate with a 4. Again, just grinds his short sword against the plate.
I turn around and I bark and spit lard at him.
the
the
last little
traces.
bits of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Prince Otto,
Yes.
no one is currently attacking you. So what Lord Irvang is going to do with his turn is attempt to pick his sword back up again.
Attempt.
Yep. It's
Please
harder.
fail.
It's harder for him to do this now
harder.
because of
Ah,
you
advantage.
did it. But with a 17, he is able to reach down and reclaim his sword, but not with enough time to actually get an attack off this turn. So that is going to return us to a new, bring us to a new round with a d6. Let's see who's going first. It's you guys once again.
Nice.
Gelsbrig, you're up first. You got a guard on you.
I do, and with him grabbing my arm and kind of pulling me away from what I was planning to do, you see Gelsbrig looks at this guy with just a sheer angry zealotry that isn't normally there, and he pulls out the bone knife and goes, "How dare you interrupt the will of God!" and stabs at him.
Make an attack roll for me, please.
That is a 19.
Ooh,
Very
a
good.
19 is real nice.
A divine attack.
Give me your damage.
D4. It's a 2.
2.
And then you gotta roll your.
Would.
D12,
He would if I hadn't also rolled a 2 and negated the damage. No flesh is pierced. So,
Sometimes.
unfortunately, you both locked together now. He's kind of still got hold of your other arm. You're kind of both struggling. He's tried to stab you. You've tried to stab him. You're kind of locked together in this little grapple, and we will see how that resolves as we move forward. But it is now Prince Otto. Prince Otto, what do you do?
I would like to reach into my jacket, pull out this flapping length of like skin, and read my unclean scroll, Ide blinds the mind. So, oh, spirits of air and darkness, draw your veil across the eyes of these fellows of waning jest. Let them sleep, perchance to dream the dreams of the damned and the lost.
I love that scroll.
All right, give me a presence test, please.
So yeah, presence
hold on.
test.
Oh, no, you're not wearing heavy
Yeah.
armor. Sorry, you're
No,
not wearing
I'm
heavy
not.
armor.
So presence is +1, so that is +1 on a 16, so that's 17.
17. This is gonna work. Okay.
Hella.
D4 creatures. We're gonna count these literal men as creatures because what are men but creatures? Unfortunately, that is a 1. I'm gonna allow you to direct this 1, Prince Otto. Who is going to make this test to see if they fall
Can
asleep?
also use an omen to force you to re-roll it to make it 4, if he has.
Right,
an
he
omen.
could-
Well, yeah,
You could-
could I do that?
You could literally force me to re-roll anything. So
Please re-roll your D4.
I will re-roll my D4. It's a 2 now.
Hurrah!
Yay.
Okay. 2 creatures are going to be affected by this.
I would like to nominate everybody who knows me, my friends, my family, the people who. I would like to nominate Lord, of course,
Absolutely.
and the Shadow Guard on Gelsbrig.
On Gelsbrig. All right.
The right choice, I believe.
Just in case. I mean, I'm hedging my bets
Here
slightly.
comes the test.
Even
So this-
nihilists need to hedge their bets occasionally.
For Gelsbrig's Shadow Guard, he meets it, beats it. Does not fall limp. Lord Irvang. I rolled 2 14s, which is exactly the number I need to. I'm so sorry.
Use an omen. Can I make him re-roll that last one?
Yep.
Actually, can I? Yeah. Go on.
No. I mean, Adam has nominated one of two. He's using one of
yeah.
his own omens for this.
Yeah.
All right. I will re-roll that last one. Well, imagine a 14, but take 10 away from it.
Hey.
Okay.
Good use of the omens, guys.
So
Great
really
teamwork.
nice tactical omen usage. What does Gelsbriggs do? You're locked in this struggle still, but as you're kind of turning with him, you can see Prince Otto trying to use this scroll again. It didn't work the last time he tried to do it. What is Gelsbriggs' flavor for the omen there?
So Gelsbrig, he hasn't really done it, but Gelsbrig's actually a bit of a flagellant, and that's how he brings forth Varka. So while he's kind of trapped in this bit of struggle, he sees Lord Irvang kind of resisting. So he looks over and just bites down hard on his lip to sort of draw blood and goes, "You cannot deny Varka, not now."
You bite down, and there's that little spurt of blood from your split lip sort of sprays up and out, and then you watch it just turn to vapor in the air. And as it does, Lord Irvang has come up, picked the sword up successfully, crossed his attempted to cross his blade with yours, Prince Otto, and you see him. He comes up and, "In my own house, you will," and he just slumps forward. His face hits the desk, and he slumped like backwards into the chair. And his sword clatters to the ground, and you can just hear his sword screaming in rage and like clanking around uselessly. Yep, calling him a coward as it clatters around on the floor. Excellent work, Prince Otto. Haga, you are up.
Cool.
Still got a dude on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna bite the dude.
Bite the dude.
Bite the dude. It's a 19.
Oh, 19 is
good bite.
more than enough for bites.
Yeah, it is. And I do 3 damage. And they don't get a free attack.
Okay, it's just 1 damage as you gnaw through a bunch of leather to get to this guy's flesh, but you make it. And it's all meat basically, right?
Yeah.
You know? As you chomp down on this guy. Okay, Bloodless Keith, you're up.
Cool beans. Sorry. Did Glasper get his go?
Yeah, I
he went
failed
first.
wound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain was like,
That's
wait,
all right.
hold on. Cool. So, I have a question about the spell. Is it like, how long's the like duration on that shit? Is it?
It's an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's just like down.
He's out
now.
for an hour. Yeah.
Cool beans. Great. Then I'll take care of the boy next to me and just I'm going to basically turn in my coat. So just turn my body like my coat remains the same to face the guy who's got hold of me, and then be like and like stab him with the sword.
Make an attack roll for me, please.
I stab him for a 9.
You don't stab him, in fact.
I get my arm caught and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you turn a little bit too much. You're like, this was a mistake.
You're stuck in the armor. You're just facing the wrong way.
I realize that the joints on the shoulders don't move both ways like my cloak do.
Can I use one of my omens to let?
Oh, look at
Bloodless
you
Keith.
guys
No.
just throwing your omens at each other. This is so nice.
I
And
don't
not
think
in the
that's the
spirit
right
of the
word.
game. No, I'm joking. Go for
Will
it.
an 18 do?
Oh, an 18 will absolutely do it.
Thank you.
Hit him with a sword.
Hit him with the sword.
So that's a d6 for you.
4 damage.
2 damage to this guy. As you turn weirdly in your armor and whack him with this blade. Like it's a femur, but it's a sharp femur now. Okay, that takes us to the bottom of our player characters order, and there's going to be some attacks coming at you guys now. So let's go in order. Gelsbrig, the guy you are grappling with, is going to attempt to stab you mid-grapple. Make me a defense roll, please.
That is a 9.
A 9 is not going to do it. 6 points of damage coming your way. You have a
So
d6
with
to
a
contest it
D6.
with.
Yes. 5 again. So only
5,
one.
only 1 point of damage. Again, you are just I feel like the righteous ire of Gelsbrig has been stirred at this point, and you are just grappling with this heretic. He only manages to nick you. Harga, you're up next.
Cool. Right. So they're attacking me.
They are. Defense roll, please.
Defense roll. That's a 7, so they hit me.
2 points of damage coming your way.
Or no points of damage.
A clanks off the armor, doesn't manage to do any harm to you. Bloodless Keeve, you are our final attacked person. Make a defense roll for me, please.
Cool beans. 17.
17. You handily parry this guy's sword
No.
weirdly backwards in your
He
armor.
goes to stab me, and I just like disappear into the armor, like a little turtle.
Turtle into it. Get out of there! It's just banging on the outside of it. Amazing. At this point, before we pop back up to see who's going first in the next round, you hear a sound from the other side of the room as the doors to the library are locked, and you see the rail-thin figure of Cedric the butler turning a key, and he turns very, very pointedly towards you guys, and you hear him say, "Ah, death, is it?" And he reaches into his coat, draws like a rapier from nowhere, and then sprints at you guys.
Joy.
It's a 3. It's going to be the attackers first. So let's go in order. He closes on you. He is so fast. He closes on you,
He's an
Prince
anime
Otto, and
He's doing a Naruto
begins
run.
like just attacking like wild, but sort of like very almost wild was the wrong word. Surgical kind of thrusts at you with this rapier. So I'll need a defense roll from Prince Otto.
He's doing like
which is
the gun cutters from Equilibrium. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
That's a dirty 1.
31. 5 points of damage coming your way.
So I have got
I think you have light.
Light
You got a D4.
armor, which is a D2 minus D2.
D2. Sorry.
So that's a 3 on a D6. So that would be 1.
As in you.
1 point of damage reduced.
Which
Oh,
is,
so you take 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did 5. He stabbed me for 5. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Did we get our health back up to full?
Yes. Sorry. That was.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Good. So that puts me on 2. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Follow-up attacks on all of you guys in the order that we have established. Gelsbrig, you're up first. Defensive, please.
That is a 16.
16. Handy parry. This guy tries to stab it on you. You knock the blade down, and again, just stay. This guy's just locked in with you. Harga.
That's a 4.
4. Some damage coming your way. It's just 1, so I believe it is automatically negated by the fact
got
that you're
6
wearing
anyway.
armor. Bam. Just can't harm you. Bloodless
Yeah.
Keith, defense, please.
7.
5 points of damage coming your way.
What? Jesus Christ.
It's got to happen at least once in the stream. To Naomi. What does that mean? You have to tell me the number.
I rolled the 6.
Okay,
Get
great.
fucked.
Thank you. Okay. You can just say "get fucked." I'll know what that means. No harm. It's now you guys. Gelsbrig, you are up first.
Stab at thee again.
All right.
That's a 3.
A 3 is
Absolute
not
failure.
gonna do it. Prince Otto, you're up.
I've still got the scroll in my hand and
Yep.
Kring in the other hand, but so I'm gonna try it again.
Ooh.
Like shaking it at the butler. And so,
Angrily
Oh.
waving this.
yeah,
My receipt.
I hold in my hand. Oh, spirits of air and darkness, draw your veil across the eyes of these fellows of waning jest. Let them sleep, perchance to dream the dreams of the damned and the lust.
Make me that presence roll, please.
Please make it better than my defense roll. It's a 17.
It's a 17. All
Again.
right. That's a D4.
Yes, which you roll.
I will roll it. It's 2.
Good. The
So,
butler,
Butler
and,
and
also thingy on Galesbury.
the one on Galesburg. All right, they both need to make tests. Guard on Galesburg. Struggling with you, has been just back and forth, trading blows, and suddenly he goes limp and kind of falls sleeping into your arms. Cedric. Natural 20.
Oh,
Oh,
dice are telling
he
Cedric's story.
Just truly does not care.
Does anyone have an omen left?
I do have
No.
1 omen left.
Is Cedric the protagonist?
he's the big bad.
He's the winner.
He's the big good.
Is
Yeah,
he?
we're the big bad. Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
I'll go on. I'll use my last omen to make that reroll.
All right. So imagine a 20 and then take the
Another
0
one?
off the end of it.
Yeah.
Great use of an omen. Oh,
Very, very nice.
Just this room full of sleeping people.
Not sleeping for long.
No.
No.
So, yeah, he's just rushed at you with this flurry of stabs with the rapier, and then his momentum, he goes like full lunge, and then sort of falls asleep mid-lunge, and he kind of goes past you. You take a little step to the side, and he just slams onto the ground and like slides up against the desk. And
Snoring.
and is gently snoring on the ground.
Thumb
Cedric
somehow.
is asleep.
Thumb somehow in his mouth.
By the time he reaches the desk, Cedric is asleep. Lord Irvang is asleep, and one of these guards is asleep. I'm going to make a little morale check now. This is a thing to see for these guys. This is very suddenly turned not in their favor. And we're going to see how they do.
Yeah, I'd almost forgotten about morale.
Yeah.
One of these gods lets go of I think it's the one that's bashing on Bloodless Keith's armor. See what's going on. He like takes in what's going on, takes a step back, and just starts running back towards the door. The other does not. He stays locked in with Haga. And
Because I'm still holding him with my teeth.
probably.
Yeah.
And that will take us to Haga.
Nice. I will bite down.
Nom.
That's a 2.
Oh boy. You
So,
did
I
all your
don't.
good rolls in the previous round.
Yeah. That's fine.
You stay locked in with this guy.
I need to roll and see if he attacks me.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yeah, he attacks me.
He does. Make a defense roll, please.
Uh,
I know, you have to do all the
that's
rolling.
16.
He attacks you, but it doesn't matter.
Nice.
You parry him away with the sword, and he starts to think that maybe staying here was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Bloodless Keith, bottom of the order.
I scramble across the desk on all fours, and jump onto the back of the man that is getting up in Haga's biz.
Nice.
And I use my thing to try and make him a little kebab.
Make a melee attack roll. Roll with strength.
It's a natural one.
Cool. All right. Times 2 damage coming at you, my dude.
Cool.
Is this the end of Bloodless Keith?
I hope
Again.
I've smudged my makeup. 6 points of damage, doubled. So that's 12 points of damage coming at you, Bloodless Keith. You may...
so. Soak 4, which is not going to be enough.
Where does that take you to? In
Fuck
terms
me.
of your hit points?
None.
Yes, but
beyond
flat none? Beyond none? All right.
Minus something.
Describe your death, Bloodless Keith.
Cool. I scamper like some kind of rodent across the desk. And I'm like, maybe, in my head, I'm like, maybe I can be better than a horse in this moment. And I, like, slow motion, like, leap into the air with, like, my sword out, like, and just miss, just like miles off. And jump into a pillar, and you just hear my head like crunch as I hit the pillar and just slide down onto the floor.
Oh.
In a tin can.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll the dice now, and the result of that dice roll will become relevant later. Cool.
Right.
Bloodless Keith, you all are pretty sure you just heard Bloodless Keith's neck break as he launches himself off. I'll tell you what it is. As you leap from the desk, your foot slips slightly in some
In the
lard
lard.
residue,
Yeah.
and you are flung from the desk. You sail over this guy's shoulder, and there is a deafening crack. This heavily armored square
nice
man
crunch.
just slumps to the
now.
ground.
Yeah. It's what he would have wanted.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is what he would have wanted. Well done, Bloodless Keith.
Thank you.
Okay. That was the whole round. New round. I'm rolling a d6. It's a 1. It's not you guys, but there's only one dude. There's two dudes. There's two dudes who are not asleep or dead. And
One of them ran away, didn't he?
Well, he ran
We
to the
tried
other
to.
end. He ran to the other end of the room. So what happens
You
is
died
you
next to
see this guy rushing away. He reaches the doors,
Clank, clank.
turns the
clank,
handle. They are locked. You see him turn and look back towards the butler who is on the ground, who has the keys. And you just hear this guy go, "Oh shit!" Meanwhile, the other remaining one is going to make an attack on you, Haga.
Okay.
You've just seen Bloodless Keeve sail over the top of this guy and break his neck on a pillar.
Yeah, that's a 6, so he hits.
He is going to hit you. Again, 1.
And
Completely
one...
negated.
Yeah.
Completely negated by your armor. He just clank. These guys were so cool when you met them, and now they're just like,
Yeah.
oh no, you're wearing plate armor. We can't hurt you. You're very
it was
easy to
such a
hit, but
good
hard to
idea.
damage. As they clatter away at you. All right, Gelsbrig, you are up.
Okay.
Sleeping guard on the ground in front of you. Sleeping butler on the ground in front of the desk. Sleeping Lord Irvang at the desk. One guard fighting Haga, one guard over by the door. And then this library full of all of these things as described.
So what happens if I attack a sleeping person? Is it an automatic kill or just?
I'm gonna call it a coup de grace, I think. So as long as what I'll say is as long as their armor doesn't absorb all the damage, I'll say you can just kill them outright.
Okay.
Awesome.
Then the one that was attacking me and is now asleep, I will take my vengeance upon, and I'll actually take my sword and just drive it into his skull because it does more damage.
Absolutely. Give me that d6 roll, please.
That would be a 4.
A 4. I rolled a 3, which is not enough. Is skulls for the skull throne.
Yes.
You tell me.
So I just look down at this guy that's been giving me so much trouble, that got in my way, that defied Varka. I take my sword, just slam it down into his head, and when I do it, I look at the guy who's panicking by the door and just go, "Repent, heretic, join us, and atone, or die like your friend."
Make a presence roll for me, please.
Ooh. 13.
All right. I like a 13. I'm going to force another morale check from this guy. In fact, I'm just going to flat roll it. He turns and just looking around him, just drops to his knees. And makes an attempt at sort of suppling. He doesn't really know what the right thing to do is, but he's trying to show willing, and he sort of presses his forehead to the floor and is just like, "Yeah, I really genuinely don't get paid enough for this. Yep, you absolutely. Varga, that one. Oh, Wagner, love that guy. He's great."
I like to think this is the guard that I tried to give a pamphlet to in episode 1.
It was.
He's actually read a little bit of it.
I read the pamphlet. Something about children and blood sounded great. Fantastic work, Gelsbrigg. Prince Otto, you are up next. There's only one guard left in this, and he's by the door, right? It's the one who was over by the door. Is the only one left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wait, the one who was attacking me?
Yeah, it's the one who's attacking Harga, right?
Oh, sorry. The one who's over by the door is the
repenting.
one who's just repented. Yeah. Apologies. Harga. Yeah, one on Harga, Prince Otto.
Yeah.
In fact,
no, I'm
right
gonna.
before you make any actions, for free, Prince Otto, I'd love for you to just make me a quick presence roll, please.
Yes. 16.
Prince Otto, you hear on the sort of the raised up kind of, there's this balcony that runs like around the top of this room. There's sort of an upper floor that looks down into the library. You hear the sound of a little creaking door up the top. You don't see anything from your position, but a door's opened.
Oh, it's his son, a child that we will have to kill.
I mean, he said he could be an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are there stairs to get up to the balcony that runs around the top of the library?
There aren't stairs, but you could make it if you climbed up one of the rolling
I was going to say,
steps.
I would like to climb up one of the rolling ladders, steps, whatever format it is, to actually get up to the...
Yeah, it'll get you most of the way there, and then you probably have to reach up, grab a banister, and pull yourself up. But you do manage to scramble up, and as you do, you do indeed find yourself face to face with a young boy who's just come out of a doorway. He's sort of staring at you, and he doesn't seem entirely sure what's going on.
I know he's a horrible man, but I look down to Gelsbrigg and say, "Oh, Gelsbrigg, I might have found you an acolyte."
Ah, praise be a new member of the flock. Repent, child.
And I grin at the child with this horrible, manic, fixed, like teeth shown wide, but just like nothing behind the eyes.
Roll me one more presence test, but do it with disadvantage, please.
Okay, so that was a 14.
Pretty good.
Oh, and a dirty 1.
He makes a small strangled sound in the back of his throat, and he turns and he runs back the way he came. You see him dashing back across this balcony towards the door that he exited from. Haga, you're up.
I think I might just stab the Lord.
Yeah,
Yeah,
checks out.
yeah. Get my sword out. Or do I want to steal his sword? I feel like that'd be fun.
You can do that. It's lying on the ground.
Yeah. I'm gonna take his sword.
You move over and you pick up this sort of twin blade to Kring and
I'm gonna
lift it
hiss
up.
into it. I'm no fucking coward. And then I stab the Lord with it.
Nice. Roll me a d6 plus 1, please.
Cool. 4.
4. I'll level with you. I've rolled a 2. Is this a decapitation situation?
Yeah.
Which is the name of my ska punk band?
That's the ska punk band that released the song earlier.
Yeah.
I think it's more just straight through the back.
You
It's like
just
back of the neck. Just
chump
yeah.
this sword like into a man.
Yeah.
And as you're swinging it, you kind of hear it start to try and respond. You hear it like it begins to sort of hiss words, and then suddenly like a baby that is about to start crying, and then you jam a dummy in its mouth. You wedge this sword into this. It's like and just starts drinking this man's blood as
Yeah.
you I know. Again, making Naomi make that face is just the highlight of my night.
It's my sword now. Maybe. I don't know. Don't know how this
guess
works.
You
So-
say you say it's my sword now, and you hear the sword kind of go.
I don't know if that's a good sound or a bad
It was
sound.
like it's
my sword now.
supplicating whimper,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I think it knows you for who you are. Bloodless Keith. The situation has sort of escalated hard and then de-escalated quite a bit, and you're now in this room with currently no perceivable threats left.
And I'm not dead.
And you're also not dead.
Cool. Is it okay if instead of waking up where I was previously, I come through the door that the boy came through on the thing? Is that okay?
Yep.
Cool.
Comedy rules. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, here it is. Here's what it is. You guys look over at like, now that it's calmed down, you're like, oh, Bloodless Keith, he fell. And you look over and you realize what hit the pillar was just the empty suit of armor. Just for full disclosure, because I don't think we actually said this at any point during the game, Bloodless Keith, Garterborn Scum, has these special ability, not escaping fate. It's called dodging death. Basically, every time you die, if there is even a vaguely conceivable way you could survive, you do on a 50-50 chance. And I rolled that 50-50 chance, and the motherfucker didn't die. So, Bloodless Keith is still alive. Yeah.
So
you open the door and the boy is kind of running towards you. He's not exited.
I open the door and I'm like, you wouldn't believe there's like a hole in the floor underneath the pillar, and I got a bit stuck, but I'm back now. It's all fine, don't worry about it. And then I'm like, who the fuck are you? To the kid.
He like skids to a halt in front of you, and turns to the he looks right and he looks left, and then he picks left and just tries to run left, and as he does, he's running towards a doorway on the left hand side, and you see that doorway creak open, and there is just darkness behind it.
Is it?
And then
Is
you
it got a
see
baby
a
in
big
it?
skeletal hand reach out of the door, and another big skeletal hand reach out, and then that like limp hanging skull pulls itself out of, and it crawls, like it has to turn itself so strangely to fit through this aperture, and this kid skids to a halt and is just kind of staring up at Varka as Varka emerges, that little bloodied child within the ribcage of this thing, and he reaches out, and the boy seems just sort of stunned by it. And you hear Gelsrig, you're looking up, just kind of taking this in from the bottom. Otto, you're up on the ladder. Haga, you're down with the, just with the sword, but looking up. Keith, you're watching from right there, and all of you hear from Varka, all of you hear,
Ah, my vessel.
and the boy just stands there stunned. His eyes kind of glass over, and the huge skeletal mech moves closer, and the little baby hand reaches out, touches this boy's forehead, and then you watch as the blood child begins to dissolve into vapor. The skeleton begins to fall apart, clattering, the bones clacking to the ground, and you watch as that vapor enters through the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and this boy shakes for a second, and then kind of standing there, his head drops and he goes kind of limp. And then the head rises back up again, turns towards the four of you, taking all four of you in, and the eyes open and they are pupilless, just blood red.
You have done well.
Praise Varka!
I feel like Gelsbrick has lost all composure at this point. He's just on his knees, like chanting.
In tongues.
Very much so.
And the little spot of blood on your foreheads that didn't at any point during this go away, you feel a sort of tightening of the skin, and you kind of see on each other as from that dot, little veins of red begin to kind of spread across each of your foreheads, and all of you begin to hear, much like Gelsbrick used to, the sort of grating, screechy sound of Varka's voice in your ears, and it speaks once more, one final time tonight.
All shall be rewarded in time, for there is still much work to do.
And all of you bow. And that is where we're going to draw our little game of Mörk Borg to a close.
Yes.
Because
Good
you
job.
don't get a happy ending.
No, I'm so
except
happy.
for Gelsbrick.
I got like
He's
100%
so
best
happy.
ending.
Yeah, he's so happy. He's vibrating in places.
Well done, guys. I
Amazing.
enjoyed that. I enjoyed that immensely.
Awesome.
Thank you for
Because
coming and
really,
listening, chat.
all games of Mörk Borg boil down to is break into a guy's house and murder him. Wow. Thank you so much for watching, everyone who's come along on this creepy, awful ride with us. I'd like to say that Lord Irvang's son is very happy and safe and good, and he's fine.
And he gets a puppy.
Yeah.
And it's
Nothing
all
to
great.
see here.
Yeah.
All good.
Because he's in heaven because he died.
Yeah, that's why. Oh no, hold on. I have to roll a d6 to see if he goes to heaven. Wait.
Oh, okay.
That's a 5. He does. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I had a wonderful time running this game for you. I have been Pip Gladwin. I do this kind of thing a lot, surprisingly.
It's really good.
And you can find me playing games and running games over at Realms of Peril and Glory, and also right here on on Actual Play UK. Before I have our wonderful players say a lovely big goodbye to you all, I just want to let everybody know what's coming up on Actual Play UK in the near future. Next week on the 21st of July, we have Dummies and Dragons, which is a very, very silly interactive quiz. We've got folks from Modified Roll, Backwater Bastards, DM's Book Club, Hazard Stripes, and Dice and a Slice, who will be showing up to answer various very silly questions about tabletop role-playing, Dungeons and Dragons, etc. On the 28th of July, we have the lovely and wonderful Maddie Searle, who will be a fellow luminary of Realms of Peril and Glory, because we're fucking everywhere. And she will be playing Dragon Dowser, which is a solo RPG. So come, keep her company, enjoy a story that she will be creating from scratch. And on the 3rd of August, now, if you like Borgs,
boy, we got a Borg for you.
Got a pirate for you. It's what John wrote down. I'm just reading what he wrote down.
Sure.
Yes, 3rd of August, we have Pirate Borg, which is Mörk Borg, but pirates. Free League have very kindly sort of sanctioned this game. So you should 100% come check it out. I don't have the list of exactly who's in this. I believe Laura Gerling from Realms of Peril and Glory is going to be on. I believe the one and only, she's right here, Beth Crane, she's practicing, is going to be on here. Also, folks from Backwater Bastards and DM's Book Club will be joining us. So come along for that if you enjoyed morking all of these Borgs with us. And finally, as if that wasn't enough, on the 4th of August, our mini Delta Green campaign shall begin. And that is run by wonderful behind-the-scenes John, who has been coming along on this journey with us, making it sound all nice and telling me when to do and stop doing things. Now I'm in that. I'm gonna be in that. So if you like that, come along to enjoy. Nick's in that. Come along and enjoy Nick.
Yep.
And also folks from Chaotic Neutral Games. So come along and do that with us. But before we go, I would like to say thank you again to my wonderful players and give them the opportunity to say bye and also plug themselves heavily. So Adam, as the only character with a happy ending, could you let the folks at home know where they can find you?
You can find me as the DM of Gunpowder, Treason, No Plot, and if you enjoy stories about dark gods and mad cultists and other horrible, horrible things, please do go check it out, because that's what happens all the time on that show. We are available basically everywhere, so just type it into whatever your favorite podcast provider is and you'll get there. Gunpowder, Treason, No Plot.
Thank you, Adam. And Beth.
Hello, I'm Beth Crane. I'm everywhere as either Beth K. Crane or at Not Combustible. I'm from We Fix Space Junk, which is 2 space repair women in space in horrible, horrible amounts of debt. Just trying to get on with it. It's a comedy. It's kind of Hitchhiker's Guide, Red Dwarf type thing. And we're gearing up to release season 4 sometime in the next few months. So exciting.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Beth. Nick.
Yep, I'm Nick. I kind of do similar things to, well, maybe not quite similar to this, but I certainly do
I'd
RPGing
never do
with
this.
the Trolls of the Two-Ton Bridges on TOTTB podcast on the Twitter, and TOTTB on Instagram as well. So we do D&D, we do Delta Green, which we're actually leading up to coming out here. And we have got lots of other fun things that we hope to have coming up very soon as well.
Thanks, Nick. And finally, last but certainly not least, Naomi.
Hello! I have been Naomi Thinks It, the sad girl under your bed, and you can find more of me and the lovely Pip at Realms Pod in Liminal. I'm twice as annoying, and he's twice as disappointed with me in that. And
100% more Scottish.
And 100% more Scottish. And you can find my show at the Kilda, and I'm at Naomi Thinks It all over the internet.
Thanks, Naomi. And thanks everybody else. Thanks for watching. This is Actual Play UK, and you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Actual Play UK, all one word lowercase, because that's how we do. Naomi's got her hand up, so I've forgotten to do something. What is it?
No, I'm just going to encourage everybody, if you've got Prime already, you can subscribe to the channel. Really helps us out. The money comes from Amazon, so fuck them. And like, you can basically subscribe for free and help us out. And if you want to throw like a little bit of cash, you can also just subscribe, because the content is baller.
I couldn't have said it better. Couldn't have said it better myself, and I didn't. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, everybody. This was so fun. Let's do it again sometime.
Yeah.
But tune in for all that good stuff, and we will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.